Hello, friends and enemies, and welcome to Girls Run These Worlds. Thank you so much for joining us for our finale of Alien. Whoop, 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 as I would say, and as everyone else would say. My name is Fiona. I use she, her pronouns, and I have the incredible honor and delight, and also a little bit of sadness for being this game's mother, like the final game for Alien, this stream, and running this game for this fantastic cast of folks. Before I ask the wonderful casters to introduce themselves, let me tell you a little bit more about Alien and what the stream is about at the top of the episode. So the Alien RPG is published by Free League, also known for some absolutely cracking RPGs like Tales from the Loop, The Walking Dead, which is now launched on Kickstarter if you're a fan of the stress mechanic, Dragon Bane, Coriolis, and many, many more. I'm a massive fan of these games, and I love sci-fi horror, so it seemed like a match made in heaven. If you want to try out this game after seeing us play and almost was so close to the end, for 7 episodes, you're like, actually, it's a really good game, check out the link in chat and get your own copy. And as always, thank you so much to Free League for sponsoring this stream. Now, with all that in mind, I've said this 7 times already, but hey, one more for luck. The world of Alien is incredibly bleak, with mature themes about darkness, horror, and violence. Now, with all the campaigns we run here at Girls Run These Worlds, the cast and I have had our session 0 all the way back in January. My God, that feels like a lifetime ago, but also yesterday. We've also got our lines and veils, and we have safety tools in effect. However, I just want to say, possibly for the final time, to say to the viewers at home, you have full permission to stop watching and step away from the story if you don't feel comfortable watching it. As I always say, you are more important than the roles on the table and the story that we are telling here. So do please take care of yourselves. Finally, the scenario we are using in this series is Chariot of the Gods, the first cinematic scenario as written by Andrew E.C. Gasker in the 26th Draconis arc, which is a scenario that comes in the starter set, the Alien starter set, sorry. I would ask those people who have run this game through and have played it already whilst watching the stream just to keep those spoilers to yourself. I know we're very close to the end, but shh, they might make it. I don't know. So just keep those spoilers to yourself, because if you don't and you're being a bit of an arse, I can't guarantee your safety from our Xenomorph mod. So there you go. But with all that out of the way, I would like the cast to introduce themselves, going in sort of clockwise order from my post, starting with Arnica. Name, pronoun, who you're playing for this final episode of Alien, and of course, my icebreaker question is, what would be your famous last words? So I'm going to pass it over to Arnica.
Hi, so I'm Arnica. I've been playing pilot Leah Davis, she, her pronouns for both of us. Stop making faces at me. I don't know what's wrong with you. And I have been full black and beautiful through all the space horror for 7 episodes, and I'm going to do it again today. Goal is to be black at the end, and I'm gonna. It'll be great. I'm even doing my hair in public so I can do this because I have headphone hair because my headphones broke. My famous last words. Oh no, what if my famous last words, or what if my hair looks like this? Those are gonna be my last words. How's my hair look?
How does my hair look? Thank you so much, Arnica.
Flawless, 10 out of 10. I'm Reina. My pronouns are she, they. I have been playing Ava, the Cronus's synthetic embedded on the crew. We'll see if I play someone else before the end of this whole thing. I don't know.
Still time. There's
a
still
handful
time.
of pre-gens to grab the world. The night is young, let me tell you what. I want to borrow some not last words, but I would hope that I have the presence of mind to say what Emiliano Zapata said, which is that I would rather die on my feet than live on my knees. That's what I would like to go out on.
Love that. Beautiful. Thank you.
I realized I forgot to be doing everybody's chat commands, so I'll do those while I'm talking. Hey friends, it's me. I'm JC Darcy. I use she, they pronouns. I'm playing, struggles to remember who I'm playing today. I'm playing Captain Balaji now. I wasn't before, but I am now because Rai never stood a chance, let's be honest. Balaji uses he, they pronouns. And is probably going to be the only one to make it out of this alive, let's be honest. Everyone with questions about why we're looking at Arnica, please go and check the GRTW Twitter. There may have been some revelations, maybe not. I don't know. We know nothing. We know nothing.
No.
My last words will almost certainly be, "Oh fuck."
I feel that's every time I speak to you, Darcy, though. And I go, could we do this? Or how about this? Fuck. Yeah, exactly.
So I'm prepared. Any given moment could be my last moments. That's how and I'm always prepared for my last words to be, fuck.
Fuck. All right. Well, thank you so much. I hope you make it to the end. You do have a wonderful ship. So, hey, might be important.
And notice that I have not left its environs. I have not gone far from it. I may just play out this entire scene in D-Deck, in the cargo hangar. And I'm okay with that.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Maddie. My pronouns are she, her. I have been Cham, and I am now playing Pin, the mercenary aboard the Sotillo, with Captain Balaji as my commanding officer. And she also uses she, her pronouns. And my final words, I think if you're going for a poignant, meaningful, surrounded by grandchildren and great-grandchildren moment, I would go for the quote from the TV show Angel, the spin-off from Buffy: "If nothing we do matters, then all that matters is what we do."
Oh my god! Wow.
But I mean, it's more likely that it would just be some form of me complaining about the pain that I am in as I am dying.
So
like,
true.
Ow.
Thank you so much, Maddie.
Hi, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I have been playing, I am playing, and I hope to finish playing with Captain Miller, the captain of the ship we rode in on. Anyone remember her? The Montero.
No.
Captain of a wonderful crew. Remember them? Of humans. All humans. And my last final words will be me gasping for breath saying, I have no assets in the US. The IRS can't get anything. Please ignore any letters. I'm so sorry. Ignore any letters they send you. I owe nothing.
I love that. And as always, when I finish this up, it goes to me, and I've just gone. I think my final words would be, I don't know, push it and find out. That would be my final words, because I'm always there like, yeah, let's do something, before inevitably I blow something up. Cool. Thank you so much. What a great crew. And honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure to run this scenario for them. And hey, they've made some interesting choices, but also incredibly creative and really exciting choices. So I'm really, really pleased to have them here today. Now, before we dive back into our recap, I just want to talk about the main mechanics that we're going to see for the final time that are going to come in the session. So when a character wants to do something where there's a tiny little bit of risk, I'm going to ask them to describe what they are doing, and then ask them to do a roll which combines a skill and an attribute together. By adding the levels in both the attribute and skill, that will create a dice pool of d6s. And they'll just roll that, and they need at least one d6 in order to succeed on their task. It's been really simple. They've actually done it. Even in clutch moments, which has been very, very exciting. At the same time, though, life on the cutting edge of space is really stressful, and that's where the stress mechanic comes in. So at the same time as when they do their skill and attribute and put those together, they also have to add in their stress level. So if a character has level 2 stress, they'll add in an additional 2d6 to that dice pool. If they should get a 1 on one of the stress dice, well, bad things happen, as we have seen. The characters will have to do a panic roll, and it could get really, really dire in a matter of moments. So naturally, the more stressed a character is, the more chance they have at succeeding on difficult tasks, or shooting things, or maybe overcoming a disease very, very early on. And you're like, damn, okay, no problem. I'll think of something how to get them. But there's also more chance of failing with bad consequences and panicking and dying, such as they decide to then inoculate themselves. And I'm like, oh, good, excellent. Don't know who that happened to. Players can also push their rolls by grabbing any dice that doesn't show a success and re-rolling them. This is not without risk, however, as pushing a roll increases a character's stress level, and they must include that new stress die in the new roll. They can only push the skill roll once, unless they have a talent that says otherwise. And they can push all skill rolls except any roll that already contains a 1 on the stress dice or a death roll. Now, The final bit I want to mention is one of the more unique elements of Alien, these personal agendas. It doesn't really matter too much because we are coming towards the end of the scenario, but essentially our characters have a secret agenda that motivates their choices. I've said to them they're not bound to carry these out, the players, but when they do get a story point. And as we are in Act 3 now, a couple of people still have story points to use, and if they do so use one, it means an automatic success, one success on a roll, which is very exciting. Now, finally, and I have cleared this with the cast, but just so the audience is aware, there is a traitor amongst us. I wonder who it could be. One of the characters isn't who they say they are. They are a secret android working towards a completely different agenda, mimicking the person they have replaced in our story. Only the traitor and I know who they are. Well, that's a lie, in a sense, as we kind of know now who it is. Again, it was just reference to a Twitter post that you can go check out after the stream, no worries. And it, should they be revealed, their game mechanics will be changed. But we'll get to that when we come to it. So with all that admin out of the way, are you folks ready for our final session of Alien?
Let it happen, Captain.
Let's do it. Okay, so since boarding the US CSS Kronos, a ghost spacecraft that has been missing for nearly 3/4 of a century, the crew of the Montero have discovered something truly horrific. Instead of finding salvage that, as per their mission briefing from corporate, they've uncovered a tale of scientific discovery gone wrong. During the away mission to the planetoid LV-1113, the Kronos science team had inadvertently brought back some sort of aggressive infection distributed by airborne dust motes produced by harvested mold-like egg sacs. Anyone infected with these motes eventually gave birth to strange aggressive life forms, neomorphs, that had started to hunt down and kill off other members of the Kronos crew. Quick to respond, the science team developed a vaccine which would neutralize the neomorphic body in our hosts. However, being derived from the same black goo substance that was found in the artifacts recovered from LV-1113, there was an additional risk that the host's whole physiology would be irrevocably altered, transforming them into aggressive ape-like beings known as abominations. This risk was not communicated to the rest of the Kronos crew, who were all inoculated before going into cryosleep. After initially quarantining the Kronos crew due to the infection risk, the Montero had set about, with best intentions, to repair the Kronos and get everyone to safety. Fate, or circumstances, depending on how you looked at it, had different ideas for them. The Montero itself was the first casualty, executing its own self-destruct sequence via a mysterious remote order and stranding our crew on the drifting Kronos. Next was J.J. Wilson, the Montero's company agent, who had been enticed by an offer of money, company status, and a chance to escape this doomed vessel, killed by a hunting neomorph whilst trying to transport some of the xenomorphic materials into the company EEV. And then there was Rye, one of the Montero's mechanics, who fell to a surprise attack by an abomination whilst attempting to fix the Kronos' communication ray on the external hull. And finally, there was Cham, the other Montero mechanic, who finally succumbed to her inoculation after being locked in the bridge against her will. After turning into a creature only seen about in nightmares, she had started to stalk one of the upper decks. And that only leaves us with 2 surviving Montero crew members, Captain Miller and Pilot Davis, along with Ava, the Kronos' android, and 3 surviving Kronos crew, Exo Johns, Marine Reed, and scientist Flynn. They were all aware of time slipping away, and any hope of surviving this hellhole was dwindling fast. And now a final twist has appeared. The Sotillo, a mercenary ship, had been tailing the Kronos and Montero, had finally revealed itself after the communication ray had been fixed, with the captain at the helm ready to board, making claim to all the salvage, along with the hired muscle, the pilot, and their own mechanic. Captain Miller, Davis, and Ava managed to retrieve the Mother Access keycard from the Science Lab 1, but not before discovering that both Reed and Flynn had been quietly suffering symptoms of the infection of their inoculations. A choice had to be made. After forcing both of the infected Kronos crew members into the lab and locking them inside, Captain Miller, in an incredible firefighting display, managed to kill off one of the hiding neomorphs which had been lurking in one of the air vents. It would seem that these creatures and the black mold that has been infecting the ship did have a vulnerability to the extreme heat or fire damage. The Montero team had made it down to Deck C, only to discover that they'd already been boarded by the Scintilla pirates. Through a ship-wide broadcast with Johns, the Scintilla gathered how dire the situation had been aboard, but seemed unconvinced by the events that had been transpiring, perhaps underestimating how serious the situation is, or just knowing that they had the advantage. Miller and Ava headed back towards the mother mainframe across the walkway, whilst Davis headed to the reactor in an attempt to set the Kronos on its own self-destruct sequence before hightailing it onto the Sotillo, with or without its original crew. Again, fate decided it was not to be, as Captain Miller started to fall from the walkway right into the captain's arms, whilst Ava managed to get away and headed on with the mission. Meanwhile, Davis had made it to the reactor and had started a self-destruct sequence in her own way, before realizing that she was not alone. A hibernating neomorph, which had made the warm, inviting environment of the reactor its home, had suddenly awoken and appeared behind Davis and was readying to strike. And we return back to that moment. So, Davis, I would like you to roll initiative for me. So you just roll a d10.
All right.
And we'll go from there, shall we?
This invisible popcorn is delicious.
I definitely didn't just roll a 2 because that would suck. Two.
Okay.
Are androids not super fast? Do you not get to roll twice?
You're super fast.
So interestingly, I will tell you, this creature does go twice, but they rolled a 7 and a 10, and it goes from lowest to highest. So, Leah. I know, I couldn't make this up, could I? Leah, you go first. Davis, you go first. You've got a fast action and a slow action, but we can see from there. So what would you like to do?
Okay. So, just roughly, rough idea, how far into the room did I have to go to hit that control panel? How far am I from the door? Y'all know I love to be like, zoop.
I will move the map so we can see it. So I would say it's not a very accurate map, I will say that, but you are sort of in the center here with the computer. So you think you could easily
I can hit it with an axe from the side. Okay, no, I'm in the center.
You can easily do that if you want. But yes, the creature is behind you. So if you are going to run away from it, you're in engaged distance essentially. So it will get an attack on you if you move.
Okay. So I have a fast action and a slow action.
Yes. I mean, just what is it that you'd be doing? Because we can work it out from there essentially.
Well, now see, here's my problem: is that like a crash test mannequin in the front seat of a car, I most absolutely buried my axe in a console.
You did,
a
unfortunately.
lovely long reach axe. Now I do still have a weapon.
Yeah.
You have an arsenal.
Yeah,
I don't. I've been giving them away like an asshole, and I use them damn doors. I have a scalpel left. I mean, I can cut a bitch, but she gonna have to get real close.
I'm very happy for you to use the scalpel.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
I shouldn't laugh. I'm gonna die.
All right, so here's the thing. It's behind me. I see the shadow standing up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the risk. If it's behind me and my hands are still on the axe, I'm gonna give a fucking Hail Mary and I'm gonna try to heave the axe out and over my head and let go and see if I can just startle whatever the fuck it is and being like, shit, an axe, so I can run like hell.
She's an axe. Fantastic. All right, let's do it. Let's do for a strength combat check, please.
Those would be my last words, actually.
What strength?
Oh,
strength
shit, an axe.
All right. You said a strength close combat?
Yeah, strength close combat for me, please.
How's my thing? I can't see where shit. Okay, that is a. That's just a. All right, I got a 5, 4, 4, 4, 2.
Oh, so no successes. That's a shame.
I know.
So you wildly sort of pull it out. You've got the strength to do it, and you wheel around. It actually hits, because the creature is very close behind you, but it sort of bounces off its armored carapace, and it is so close. This horrible sort of glistening, I will say, this sort of white, translucent sort of skin that sort of goes up over its sort of domed, like elongated head, and it's sort of just there looking at you, and yeah, unaffected by your axe. What do you like to do? You got, I'd say that is your slow action because you attacked it. You have a fast action left.
Cool. Now, let's assume that I'm about 5'11". Let's assume that Davis is my height so that I can figure this out.
Yeah.
About where would this thing's soft bit be? Like, there are a couple soft spots. The join around the neck where the chitin kind of moves. How high above me is that? Because this thing, you said it's really close.
It is very close. That's a good question. Usually in these things, there's a nice little like size rating. I'll see if I can find it so I can show you. Oh yeah. So it's about sort of like 8 feet tall.
So okay, so it is big,
like
the yes. Classic Geiger dude.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's sort of the way it looks as well. It's sort of almost like cat-like in a way, sort of the way its sort of joints are. So it's not all like standing up like a human. It's sort of like crouched a little bit as it's sort of raising itself up to its full height, extending itself.
All right. So, hey y'all, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna try to bum rush to get past. I'm gonna try to shove it with. I'm gonna try to stub it with a pointy, and I'm gonna try to stab this thing. I'm gonna stab it. If I'm gonna die anyway, I'm gonna die stabbing it. I'm gonna stab it in the neck
with the scalpel.
With my little ass scalpel.
Yeah, why not? Oh. All right, let's do it again. Do a strength close combat.
I got a 6 this time. I stabbed in the neck. I got a 6 and 2 5s and 2 2s.
All right, so you've one success. Okay.
Yes, let me have it. Shit.
Okay. Oh, you know I can't let you have it because I've got to roll its armor class, and for every success I get.
Like you could have like smiled. You could have given me like slow smile. Let me have like half a second being like I stabbed it. You're so mean.
Yeah. You do a sort of an upper thing and it goes straight into its sort of its jaw and you're like ugh, and you can feel like it's almost like saliva starts to come out and you try and pull the scalp out and it takes it away. It got hurt. But it doesn't look like it's taken any damage as the skin around it starts to seal up. It's now the Neomorphs go. I don't think Cham's had a go at not Cham, sorry, Pin has had a go at rolling it. So could you roll for me, Maddie, a d6 and tell me what you get?
Absolutely. Roll me a 1, Maddie. We're friends.
I rolled a 1.
You locked her in the fucking bridge.
Delivered. On the money.
So according to the attack table, a terrifying hiss. The Neomorph leans in close to its victim, showing its razor-sharp teeth and hissing. The victim must make an immediate panic roll, but we don't have to do that. No. Yes, this thing sort of comes to you and it sort of almost locks eyes. These horrible sort of like lidless, pupilless eyes lock in and sort of are looking you up and down. It just hiss, that saliva dripping down. You know, if you're still holding the scalpel, it sort of drips down over your hand, but you do not move. You don't do anything, Lucas. You know what you must do. It's now the second go of the Neomorph. Darcy, would you roll me a d6, please?
Fucking delighted.
Would love nothing. The immediate.
A 1 again. It carries on hissing. It almost doesn't stop. It almost doesn't take a breath. And it's leaning in closer and closer, studying you, Lucas, at this point. but it doesn't move. Back to your go. What would you like to do?
Okay. At this point, the monster and I, here we are, just two inhuman things trapped in a room together.
Yes.
And while some of the older ones may have encountered Ava, this one I don't think has ever encountered a synth.
No.
It knows that I'm not food.
Mhm.
I've kind of heard it, but no more than a small thing would. So right now, it seems to be trying to decide if I'm actually a threat. It's doing an I'm bigger than you display. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can get it to react like an animal. I just need it to move just a little bit, just enough for me to get to the door. So I'm going to go ahead and very slowly, just kind of slowly let go of underneath its chin and put my hand like this, just kind of tilt my head. I'm still meeting its eye, and I'm just going to wait. No more sudden moves for me. Let's see if I can get this thing to be like, oh, just another weird piece of ship furniture.
All right. Can you do for me, Lucas, an agility mobility roll?
All right.
And it does kind of make sense because the creature didn't come for you whilst you were in the med lab by yourself. It didn't seek you out.
Let's go ahead and roll 10d6. I have 2 6s, 2 5s, and all the rest are 2s. I have so many 2s, but that's all right because I have 2 6s.
You got 2 6s. So yeah, easily enough, actually. You let go. And as this creature's sort of looking at you, you look towards the computer and you can see it starting to like emanate out sort of that light. It's starting going to warning signals, and you just slowly but calmly go back, go through the door, and this, with that extra success, I would say you are able to like shoot and shut it.
I can't believe I was able to bullshit my yes. Androids are okay.
It's not the end of the end of the round though. So
I'm excited.
Raina, could you roll for me a d6, please?
Survey says 5.
You shut it just in time, Lucas, as suddenly this creature rushes the door and tries, and you can see it extends this horrible sort of mouth, but it comes up against the door, the glass, and you just see the small inner sort of what's it called now? I can't remember. Like the shark sort of mini mouth. Essentially, it goes up against the door, and you can see its hiss. It's almost like grabbing out. And you see where it's sort of aiming. It was going towards your throat, at that sense. But it is stuck inside. And then finally, Ada, could you roll for me a d6?
Is that the llama die? Do you know what to do with the llama die?
It only works against your friends. Clearly, as soon as an enemy appears. So it is almost scratches up against the glass. You can see it's horrible, sort of the teeth and the nails scratching, and then it goes back down and sort of slinks back into the shadows, hissing, biding its time. And we'll come out of initiative for now. The last thing I need you to do, Lucas, because I remembered I didn't do this last time. I need you to roll me a d6 for your radiation poisoning. If you get a 1, let me know.
All right. Nope, I got a 3.
Yeah. So you sort of step back. You're very aware that even as an android, you are affected by radiation. Weirdly, machines are more susceptible to radiation than anything you would expect, considering you can't, you don't need to breathe, you're immune to disease and stuff. So you're aware that could have been quite fatal. It would have sort of docked your health points, but you're okay for now. And the further away you are from the reactor, it will eventually fade away after a turn or two, about 10-20 minutes. But yes, before we sort of move on to another scene, Lucas, what is your plan? Where are you going?
So the entire plan all along has been I have been embedded aboard the Montero. Everybody who is anybody who needs to know, Connie was trying to recover something, by which I mean 2 whole people, but still 2 people knew, and that was enough for one person to embed me on the Montero in place of their pilot. I've really loved being aboard the Montero. Like, I'm not supposed to, but I did. They really were my crew. I really did like them very much. And it's a fucking shame because at this point, all of my programming has kicked on, and the last of that is all kind of draining out of me. It's going to the back because what I was sent here to do is make sure that whatever the bioweapon was, all we knew was that Weyland-Yutani wanted a bioweapon. Whatever it was, any trace of it, any documentation, anyone who knows about it is to be eliminated with prejudice. So I blew up the Montero to make sure that I scuttled the only decent-sized escape ship. And that was fucking rough because I did. I loved the Montero. I knew Mother. That was our ship. Shit was there. Scuttled the Montero. Just in case, if there was any chance that vaccination worked, I convinced Cham to take the vaccination. If it worked, cool. Maybe I could lock them in a cryo sleep and we wouldn't have to do this the rough way. It didn't work. So now we have to do it the rough way. And I'm about to go, just so everyone knows, just so there is no, is she? I'm about to clear this entire ship.
Yeah.
No one is getting off. The other ship will not be allowed to undock.
Yeah.
Everything that's been exposed must be destroyed.
Yeah, those were your specific orders from Bionational, the corporate rival to Weyland-Yutani, that no matter what, no one is to get out with this xenomorphic material, and that is your job. And as those sort of, let's say, Leah's personality traits that you've developed and perfected over many months, and like you sort of delete it, as almost if you put those files into like a recycling bin and then empty it. And now you know your purpose and what to do. Let's move the scene. Before we go to Captain Miller, let's go see what Ava's up to, if that's all right. So Ava, where we left you last time, I believe, you had made it over to the other side of the catwalk with Captain Miller indicating for you to go so that you would make it up to the Mother mainframe. Is that correct?
That's right, yeah.
Cool. So please, what happens? Sort of not what happens. That's my job. Where do you plan to go? Like, describe your route. What's your thinking? You see what I mean?
Yeah. So I think like flashback to the moment where we were before. It was Captain Miller hanging off stabilizing herself on the catwalk and mouthing like "just go," and Ava is turned there with the pistol, not with mouthing back, "not without you," and then. That's sort of the moment where Miller was like, all right, fuck it, and fell. So she's just like, all right, someone's got to do this job. I want to protect my primary directive is to make sure that every human on board the Cronus survives no matter what. Mm-hmm. However, stopping Miller from falling is like a smaller thing compared to saving the whole ship, right? So she's just like, all right, turn and booking it down the hallway. So go running down either of those passages, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You come across again. Actually, I don't know if you've been this way. I don't think I've described it. Have you been this way before?
I don't think any of us has had a reason to be in this part of Deck C yet.
Yes. So this is where Wilson met their.
Oh, this was. Yeah, right. With the storage.
Yeah. So for you, Ava, you sort of come across and you see obviously the vials, the sort of urns and stuff, and actually you see now because it sort of has been depressured. That's the word. Thank you. That's why you're the android. That AI happening there, autocomplete. You can see that because the cold atmosphere which was keeping these things cool has now evaporated. You can see that there's slight cracks in some of the vials that have been on some of the urns, and a slow sort of like steady mold is starting to appear in one of the storage units. The blood is still on the floor where Wilson died a couple of hours ago, but I assume you just carry on going at this point.
Yep, she looks down at it and like sees it spread. There's like a, great shaky cam over the shoulder, like, oh, that's awful. Show the audience that, oh, things have evolved and badly. And she steps like over the broken glass and just keeps going.
Yeah, you keep going. Yeah, absolutely. You have a purpose at this point. You go up.
Oh, the point was to get to the intercom, right? I thought we were going to get to the intercom.
You're
and
right.
Remotely.
Yes,
and make
set
noise
off alarms to distract
and get the xenomorphs in one area.
Yes, thank you. I had forgotten that. So yes, please feel free. If that's the plan,
or whatever
so
Ava deems is useful.
Yes.
Yeah, and then heads over to the intercom on the.
You step over it and then go, wait a moment, and step back over it to go to the intercom. Or I assume you go to So we discussed it. It was going to be one of these intercoms, but it was going to be a remote communication from a different intercom. It wasn't the intercom you were interviewing.
Right. I think I'm going to go to I think we said I was going to go for the one outside of storage.
Yep.
On the right there.
Absolutely. Yep.
And then set it off somewhere like on deck B.
Yes, I think we said the Medilab possibly.
Medilab, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for reminding me because I completely forgot that. I got that in my recap, so that's on me.
It's been a week, yeah. No,
it has been quite a week. So wits comtech for me, please, and of course, you don't have any stress, so you can just roll for me.
I do, and I have 2 successes.
Excellent. So yeah, easily enough. You sort of take a moment and you sort of go my mind to your mind and sort of fingers everywhere, sort of like plugging in, and you make the noise. And so what is it that you want the intercom to do? Is it just like a loud like beeping noise, or do you want it to say something? I will give you that.
So our goal was to like draw threats away, right?
Correct, yes. Both, I assume both monstrous and also human.
Right. I think the goal would be to like not only set off alarms, but have some kind of calm that would require or like encourage people to attend to it, right? Rather than be like, hey, stay away.
Yeah. You're attracting things to it. Yeah, I get that.
Right. Oh. How's this gonna work?
Describe it. We can work it out together.
The idea I think maybe Ava, like, because it's an intercom system, right? Has an alarm, but also has like modulates her voice.
Yeah.
To impersonate another person on the Cronus.
Ooh.
And basically say, like, hey, I'm trapped in here and I need backup, or like, is anyone there, right? So someone was just, I think it was Johns who was like,
it was Johns, yeah,
like, hey, where are people?
So yeah, so you've got Johns, you got Reed, you got Flynn, you got Cooper. You would know these people, even if they're no longer alive. You could still mimic their voices, I would say.
Right.
You got the captain, the original captain of the Kronos.
Yes. I think so. My thought process is twofold, right? One is to be like, oh, it's Johns, right? But everyone knows that Johns is in the bathroom, and it would be weird if Johns was like, hey, I've left the bathroom that I said I wasn't going to leave. So I think this is actually Ava's thought process. She knows that people are dead, right?
Yeah.
But the crew of the Satillo doesn't know that those people are dead.
Yeah.
So maybe she impersonates someone who everyone else from the Montero would and the Cronus would know is like, oh, that's a trap. Don't go there.
Yeah.
To try and bait the Satillo out.
And obvious, to those people. Yeah, absolutely. So you currently have, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head who you've got that have passed from the city. So originally, obviously, the captain has gone. We've had Cooper is obviously no longer with us, and Clayton has gone.
Wilson.
And and Wilson, if you want to play Wilson. I wouldn't have come into contact with Wilson if you're using just a Kronos crew. Those
Yeah, I don't think
others.
Ava ever like bumped into Wilson.
No, not in my canon. But again, I'm going to leave it open to you because you were successful. So,
let's. So I think I think Ava knows, like, has the idea that these are pirates, right? Like,
yeah, you have been.
She's going to impersonate Clayton.
Oh, excellent.
Hang on, let me put some stank on it. So she sets off the alarm that's like brute. And then like grabs the little like hand piece, right? The retro. Hello, is there anyone there? This is Clayton. This is Agent Clayton. I am a Wayland-Yutani office corporate agent embedded on the Kronos, and I am looking for some fucking jarhead or something who is on this junk to come and pick me up. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm looking around, but I've been pushing all the buttons. I think I've just set an alarm off. I'm hiding in the med lab. There is something out there. Please, if you can get here, there are thousands. I have more credits than you've ever seen in your bloody life. I will set you up for life. Please, someone out there.
Yeah, perfect. I was going to say, with that success as well, you would know that there would be that sort of monetary value or even xenomorphic ones, but I think you perfectly nailed it on that front. So yes, fantastic. So that is going off just now. Stick with you for a moment. So I moved us down there. But do you continue going up to Mother?
I think once she's set off the distraction, then she'd be like, all right, and now I'm out.
Yeah. As you make your way up and you get into Junction B, make for me a wits observation check for me, if you would. Thank you.
And I'll spend my, because I had 2 successes, I'll use my stunt to say that was me showing off.
Oh,
for the contact.
Well, when we come back to the 3 people scene, I'm sure we'll have it in there. So I love that.
Yeah.
Also, you sound more like Clayton than I sound like Clayton, so I appreciate that.
In your head? Okay.
Yeah. I was like, damn, I should have just got you to do it.
They do pay me to say things in the microphones.
There you go.
I have 1 success on my wits observation.
Okay, so as you're climbing up, normally you know you have to get to Mother, and you know how damaged Mother is at this point, and so you want to make sure you can at least help with that, setting off that self-destruct sequence in a safe manner. Make sure you have enough time. As you're going up the ladder, you pause at deck B, as you can hear a as you sort of take a moment to listen and then look out, you can see a very familiar creature. You spotted her as you tried to go down before. It is the figure of Cham, who looks like, even though I appreciate the angle's not good on this, but you can see she is bashing on the door to the toilets, where John's last communicated from. What do you do?
Yeah. You lucky skunk. She's like done the calculus, right? It's not that kind of movie, but if it was a different sci-fi movie, we would like zoom into her brain and like see the wires firing.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I think instead, because it's Alien, there's like a kind of moment of like she looks up and like
you see it.
Jump cut to inside of Mother with like the little motes of dust just kind of floating, like, and then with every bang it jump cuts back to Cham's figure like smash. And then Mother, and then the door.
Yeah.
She goes, okay, and stops, draws the pistol, and starts like slowly advancing down the hall.
Oh, I love it. Yes, it's very much that perfect Beauty and the Beast moment. Go, no, this way is death and horror, and you're like, what about this way? So yeah, you definitely see that. Brilliant. All right, well, we'll come back to you. Let's go to our final group of people in Deck D. So, Captain Miller, you fall, and I think it's too cool a moment. I'm not going to make you roll for it. There's no point in that. I think you were ready at this point, Captain Beaujolais, is that you can catch the captain. 2 captains catching, essentially. Mm-hmm. So She falls. Pin, you're also there. I think you hadn't moved from that position. And Horton is also there, the mechanic, whilst the captain, BN, has gone back to the ship. So I would say at this moment you have, whether you both catch Captain Miller or it's just you, Beaujolais, then I'll leave that up to you, but you definitely catch her. And I'll leave you up to you to start that scene.
The nicer version of the end of Alien 3.
Very much so. I had thrown my gun to Pin and asked her to keep both her own and mine trained on this new arrival, just in case. So I'm going to claim the heroic save for myself, and very much go for the princess catch, like into my arms, so that you're right there looking into my eyes of this dashing new captain. I think there's a bit of a like, as prepared as you can be for something like that, it's always going to be a shock to the system. So there's a bit of an impact, but by the time you regain your vision and look up, he's already got this dashing smile on his face.
I look at Captain Bolagi's face. For a second, I'm relieved. I'm like, for a second, like I feel I'm saved. And a second later, I look around quickly and I just start coughing. Big, wet, throaty coughs.
Are you all right, love?
It's not a good fucking afternoon. I keep breathing out very wet, open.
We get it. You all right, love? Do you need some medical assistance? I'll just ever so gently lower you until your feet are touching the ground.
I put my arm up and I just sit down like with my legs crossed. So like I keep my arm up. My other arm is where you can see it.
Yeah, I think I've still got hold of your wrist. Like I'm letting you go, but not fully.
Fair. But Miller just sitting on the floor for a second, just like composing herself and just at the moment showing she's not threatening. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And because you did me this solid, I'm gonna do you this solid. Get the fuck off the ship. Take me with you. Get the fuck off the ship.
You're the second person today to say that to me.
Did you do a visual scan when you approached the ship?
Yeah, we've been watching for a while.
So you saw the headless corpse magnetized to the hull?
I look at Pin.
Would Pin have seen that, or
on the other side?
I just kind of give a shrug to the captain, just kind of mouth. Could only see one side. trying to make angle my face so that Miller doesn't.
Yeah, it's trying to look very cool. Going, yeah, we only came in on starboard, not port.
Yeah. No, I appear to have been bereft of that information. Is this a Weyland-Yutani ship? Is that something they do now?
You know what? I'm pretty sure it is. For the record, fuck Weyland-Yutani.
I just look really pointedly at the Weyland-Yutani patch on your arm.
Yeah, I know. No. Oh.
I actually threw it. I don't know where it went. And there's open safety pin somewhere. Okay, later. Back in scene.
All right, yeah. I can agree with that. We can agree with that, right, Pin? Fuck Weyland-Yutani.
Yeah.
Get off the ship.
All right.
You need to get into cryo right away.
All right. You can come on board.
Now.
With the exact same proviso as I gave to your friend on the intercom. Got to buy your way on. What you got?
I look down at my waist and I look really longingly, sadly at this beautiful high-tech storm rifle.
Ooh.
And I just kind of, still not touching it, but I just sort of put my elbow at that beautiful storm rifle.
That's quite nice. We were hoping for something a bit more unique, a bit more lucrative, weren't we, Pin?
It will kill you first.
What will?
The warnings were true. There are monsters on board the ship. They are tearing us apart. They're taller than both of us. Nothing can stop them. And if you're in here breathing this air, then you're infected. Your last chance is to get to your ship, get into cryo, and pray to fucking God we can find something to reverse this.
All right, love. Can I... Obviously, Darcy knows she's not lying. Can Balaji tell if this is a play, if she's being truthful?
I'm always a bit iffy about insight checks and stuff when I know it's trying to. I'd say make for me a empathy test for me, if that's all right.
Empathy.
Am I helping?
Yeah. You're doing big Puss in Boots eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got no successes on that.
You can always push the roll.
I could push the roll because I don't have any stress though.
Oh,
very fucking stressed here.
Gotta believe me.
Stress for all of us.
Yeah.
I've also got a story point.
Mm-hmm. Up to you.
The meta knowledge that I already know. No, I'll just that kind of makes sense. Like, she's full of emotion. It's difficult to get a read on a person.
You've dealt with this before. You know, you come on, you've boarded places, you get the whole like, no, don't hurt us. It's a terrible thing. Like, same old story, different ship. You know, that sort of thing. Yeah.
I have a spouse and 3 kids waiting for me on a station just outside of Omicron Percy.
Women and children first. This is my daughter.
Sure, for sure, yeah. All right, love. All right. We're gonna wait for your mate Johns to come down here and see what he's got. But yeah, hop on board.
I keep my arm raised and I show like this gesture of quickly unhooking the storm rifle, and I start getting up and I let it clatter off my belt.
Yeah.
Can I visually see anything else on you? Any other weapons? Is that all you've got?
I do have the cutting torch, the flame.
Yeah, the cutting torch. Yeah.
All right, yeah. Pin, can you radio up to whoever fucker's on board? Let them know to expect a guest, but to keep their eye on them.
Just me? You're going to stay here? You should come back.
Well, like I say, we're going to wait for your friend. I want to be here to receive him. I'm nothing if not a cordial host.
At this point, you would get Ava's alert. And they're saying that Clayton's with a lot of credits and a lot of money.
Ooh. Who's that?
Fucking Corpos.
Ooh.
There's a fucking executive suite.
Eyes directly at Pin.
Yeah, Pin is like,
Yeah.
Well,
the rest of us were drinking watered down coffee. They have their fucking executive suites.
Oh, that wounds me. Oh, the thought. Perish the thought. But she's got thousands of credits. She's just
I don't want to fucking know. I'm not going into that. I'm done. I'm done.
No,
I'm done with that.
Far more than a fucking rifle, love.
Yeah, offer
Take it.
rescinded.
I don't care about these fucking credits anymore. The Montero is gone. My ship got blown up. There is nothing left.
Then you've got nothing left. What are you going to do?
My fucking
Where are you
life.
going to go? How are you going to start over? Thousands of credits.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
that's more like what we came for, eh, Pin?
I'm done. I don't want anything to do with it.
You know where she is. You know what's lurking. You know what these monsters are. You can help us get up there.
I'm done.
Nah, if you want on board, you're helping us do this.
What's Pin thinking at this point?
I think Pin is very, very slowly cocking one weapon and then the other.
Yeah, just after that line in the silence, there's just the double click of those weapons.
Mm-hmm.
She's a woman of few words, but many weapons.
Love that. Love that.
If they have weapons trained on me, even if I try to take one step back, I hear safeties go off, or what happens if I just like put my heel back?
Yeah, I think Pin takes a half a step, like measures the exact length of your step and matches it.
You're making a mistake. You need to get to your cryopods ASAP. You are infected. It's not worth your lives.
Well, if we're already infected, then what's to lose? Infected with what, anyway?
Something that'll turn you into the monsters and kill anything else that isn't a monster here. We're wasting time.
I'm just going to step over to Pin
Mm-hmm.
and just kind of huddle with her with my back to Miller.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I say is keep that weapon on her. If she so much as moves, blow her away.
Yep.
What do you reckon? A fucking storm rifle's nothing.
It's very hard to believe that there's monsters roaming around this place.
People do say all sorts. But that bloke, he sounded really scared. I'm inclined to believe she sounds genuinely scared as well.
Yeah.
I want an easy payday, you know me. Especially doubly if we're going to fuck over Wayland Yutani. But I'm not risking the three of you.
Yeah. I mean, there's no harm in having a little look, right? Just a quick look. Keep the exit strategies in place.
Yeah. It's not that big a ship. Yeah.
Yeah. Just a couple decks.
All right. First sign of trouble, we bail.
Yeah.
All right. Turn back to Miller. All right.
In the meantime, I would have wanted to, as soon as I see them turn around, just like fix my jacket.
Yeah.
And flip on the comm.
Oh, yeah, easy enough. Yeah, you're still wearing your EVA suits, but not the helmet. So yeah,
Correct.
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
You're making a mistake. But then once I take you to the Corpo Suite and back, I'm done.
So are we, love. If this lass is up there with all her lovely credits, then yeah, we'll all be done. So it's in your best interest to get us there quickly and safely. All right?
Fucking Corpos. Not worth it. You're making a mistake.
Or else what? What do you want to do? You want to leave her up there with all them credits for her to do what? Get away scot-free? Keep all the money? Nah, it's better with us. Trust me. If you do it, you get a share. Guarantee that's more than she was going to offer you. Fuck Corpos. Don't let them win.
Let him die.
Oh, I never said nothing about not letting her die. I'm just talking about getting her credits.
Fuck. We don't have time.
Why? What timer is counting down? What's going to happen?
Fucking monsters. We're in this vehicle, but have there been claw marks in this area, Space Mother?
Not on deck D, unfortunately. Okay. Yeah. Weirdly, they came in from the bottom where there isn't anything like that. Whereas if they came from the top, they would have. But somebody blew a hole in that. I think that was your ship, Captain, that blew a hole in it. Just
allegedly.
Allegedly.
You can't prove anything.
I know. I can't. But yes, there is no signals or signs of extraterrestrial life forms being in this thing.
Weird that.
Yeah.
Did we establish that there was a comm system in this area? I think last time I was like, there isn't, but there is.
Yes, because of rubbish kind of, but there would be like a communication thing. It makes sense because obviously vehicles, you'd need to radio up and stuff. So yeah.
I walk over and I just invite.
Hey, whoa,
I invite either of them to just come over my shoulder. Doing a comm call. Watch my fingers.
Yeah. Pin will watch them.
I do a comm call. Ship-wide.
Yeah. Oh, ship-wide. Okay. All right. Yep. All channels are open, Captain.
Clayton, you goddamn fuckers. You got what you wanted. They're coming for you and I'll fucking see you in hell. And smash it off. All right. Fast.
Excellent. So you start to make your way up through the
She's
decks.
leading the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take my pistol back from Pin and keep it trained on her. Have Pin do the same. I will very, very quickly radio back to Horton and Bean, who are on the ship.
So Horton, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is in the vehicle bay with you.
Yes, they were. Yes.
And Bien is in the ship because they were like, I'm gonna stay there.
Yeah.
So Horton is looking to you and is like, what do you want me to do, boss? I can come with.
No, you cannot. I know you would love that very much, but if even a fraction of what this lass is saying is true, then I'm not putting you in harm's way, mate.
Oh, but Captain, please.
Look,
I'm very capable.
That's why I need you right here. Stand on that ramp, hold that gun, safety off, and if anything moves, if anything so much as moves without requesting permission, blow them away. No hesitation.
Okay.
All right?
No hesitation. Okay. Sure.
You let me know if you see anything.
Watcher.
We're going to be quick. See you in a few minutes.
All right. So you start to make your way up. I'd say at this point, we cut back to Lucas. I would say, because I'm aware of time and story, Lucas, you have heard this conversation. You've maybe made it to like the maintenance shaft or something like that, checking on the cooling tanks because you want to make sure they are not cooling the reactor so that it will eventually overheat and do what happened to the Montero on the Kronos. So you would have heard all of this. So, what would you like to do, Lucas?
So, in fact, that's so funny you said that because I was literally going to start with heading towards the maintenance shafts to the cooling tanks because I'm not just making sure they're not cooling it.
Yeah.
I am trying to see if there's almost certainly a manual override vent in case of overpressurization emergencies. Mm-hmm. And I'm there to dump one of the tanks, just vent the tank completely if I can.
Yeah. I think you can do that. Make for me a heavy machinery roll. I think that's strength heavy machinery.
Okay.
And again, you don't have to do stress with that.
I sure don't. You fly. All right, 66. 2 5s, a 4, 2 3s, and a 2.
Okay, so no successes, unfortunately. So you are taking your time with it, and it's taking longer than you expect. The time where this is going to go off, you're struggling to make a decent estimate. It could be hours, minutes. You're struggling a little bit as you're hearing this conversation, as you can hear them starting to go up, probably using one of the working lifts or something to go up.
Okay. So I've heard a couple things. I heard what was obviously Ava doing Clayton's lore towards the thing.
I mean, it's
I've
not
heard-
bad. It's you know you could do better. You know you could do better, but you know it's not bad for an older model.
I mean, look, Ava has not been the Davis personality was deliberately made to be exceedingly antagonistic to other androids.
Yeah.
Because under no circumstances could I risk interacting for too long with another one that would go, oh, my programming has been specifically to identify other synths.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but Lucas does not mind Ava. In fact, Lucas has a very kind of my poor elder sibling has been trapped here for 3/4 of a century with no service. I'm so proud of her. Poor thing. If I could rescue Ava, I would rescue Ava. But right now, I don't know where Ava is. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to interact with her in a negative fashion because now that I can't get the cooling tanks to vent without wasting time, and I don't have time to waste, I can hear just from where everyone said they were that people are heading to the front of Deck B and that they're at the bottom of Deck D. And it did not sound like Ava was calling from Deck A, which means I need to try to get up to Mother. Just to make sure that nobody can get to Mother and try to override anything. If possible, I want to lock down all the external exits. I want to lock down Deck D so that the ship can't leave.
Love that. Okay, yeah, easy enough. You can hear them sort of come up. Maybe you wait until this team sort of gets onto the catwalk and moves across, taking that sort of slow way towards the junction C1 as you sort of double back and go up junction C2 to try and go straight up and off. Excellent. Whilst you're doing that, can you make for me a mobility agility check?
Yeah. Mobility. Agility. That's my 10. Cool.
And I'm also going to roll, which is exciting. I never get to roll.
2 6s, 3 4s. So, yeah, 2 6s. And that's my 6 6s.
Good to know. All right. So, so that is wits observation. Orton's got very good wits. He's got 5. And then another. So he's rolling 7. Because he's essentially is scouting out to see if he sees anything. Oh, it's a tie, unfortunately. So you win. The players win on ties in my head. So yeah, you sort of scrape through. He doesn't see you as you're sort of looking over a little bit and then backing away. And so he doesn't notice somebody else listening in on the conversation and moving your way up towards Deck A and towards Mother. And I think let's take a break there, if that's okay, folks. Because for once, I'm on time. Story works. Thank you so much for watching. We're going into the very tense finale, the final bit of the final act. Thank you so much for watching. Get some water, get your meds, and we'll see you in about 15 minutes. See you soon, guys.
never heard a story of an adventuring party like mine before. This story is filled to the brim with mysteries, wanderlust, intrigue, very questionable deeds, impromptu experiences, violence, love, magic, and of course, luck. Lady Luck was always tilted in our favor, even when things were dire. This is a story of how the world learned of our name.
Finger guns. Hello, welcome back. Sorry. We've had a really good break and we're ready for the final countdown. No
DMC strikes.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That's the klaxon going off next to Clayton, is that sound. Let's return to Ava. So, Ava, you were here near Junction B1. You can see, I'm again licensing, like, your head doesn't come out or anything like that. You don't do like a snaky look around, but you can see very well that there is a Cham-like figure, the sort of elongated arms, sort of horrible, cowled, sort of almost bulbous head now. Her hair completely in tatters, almost like as if it's falling out at great speed, just whacking on the door of the toilets where you think John's was last broadcasting on. Weirdly, not that anybody asked, but John's hasn't been broadcasting for some time. Nobody asked, so I didn't say anything because I assumed it wasn't important, but who knows? So yes, Ava, what would you like to do?
Ava's seen these things in action before.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Briefly, the relative intelligence,
Mm-hmm.
what does she know about them? Like, do they respond to like external stimuli, or are they like just motivated by like food, go get?
So what you've encountered both before the Montero arrived and obviously when you're out on the external hull, is that they are motivated, or sort of they are all sort of almost chronically angry, almost incessant, they're almost seething. There's just the rage molecules inside them are just burning up. Essentially, they are motivated by noise, you think, and smell, not food per se. You wouldn't get that. There's definitely been maybe previously in an earlier stage, maybe, but they definitely are on, like, as basically anything that they see, anything that's any sudden movements or anything that sort of encroaches on their territory, they feel very territorial, these creatures. So maybe a bit of that sort of primate sort of thing, they're alpha primates sort of like moving through. What I would say as well, which you wouldn't need to roll for, because again, I would say at this point your memory banks are now back in sort of contact. The couple that you encountered before the Kronos lifted up from planet side is that they did fight each other. They are very territorial in that sense, but they don't work in packs, they work individually. And so they are capable of sort of not working together, working against each other. You would know that as well.
Got it. Just trying to assess what the plan of attack is. And I'm juggling either like trying to distract it or just saying like screw it and attacking it flat out. I think Ava is like gonna try and make a distraction. Look for like a bolt or some like bit of debris, and huck it down the hallway away from the
toilets. Yeah,
from the toilets, like down towards stairwell.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, I love that.
Be like, hey, go that way. Conveniently towards MedLab.
Yes, conveniently. I love that. So yeah, what are you throwing then? Just like a bolt or a piece of like what have you got on you, would you say? Out of
she's a technician mostly. And so I don't think she's like been carrying anything super useful. She's got the pistol. And so I think she's like looking in the junction for like a little bit of scrap that might have come loose in one of the many explosions. Like a heavy like bolt that used to keep one of the bulkheads together, or like a something.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think you could easily find like a screw or something, because there's definitely been damage around these parts as well. I think we, like in general, you certainly with the vestibule and stuff that you were attacked in there, and so looking around this whole corridor, yeah, there's definitely something like, yeah, we'll say like not a nail, like a screw, like you said, yeah, and you can just throw it down there. Ooh, I love it. I'm just gonna look up, because so we did. Yeah, we did an awareness check, didn't we? We did an observation check, but we didn't do a stealth check, did we? We didn't do a.
I don't think so. No.
No, that's cool. Because what I'll do, because I'm not gonna make you roll to throw it, because like you can do that. You're an android, damn it. Like you can do whatever you want. But I think some sort of stealth so it doesn't notice you.
Right.
Would make sense. So that would be, I think that's mobility, agility, mobility. Yeah. I always get them the mobility, agility. So yeah.
I'm going to spend my story point so that I have one success.
Oh no! All right, you got one success, but it has to make an observation check against you. So that's the thing. So yeah, so you got one success. You throw it, and you throw it with such accuracy that it sort of. Do you want it to go into the stairwell, or do you want it to go past so it goes?
I think I'm throwing it down the corridor.
Mm-hmm. Oh right, yes. So past. Yeah. So going towards the mess hall then, essentially.
Yeah.
Cool beans, love that. All right, so this is this is not the neomorph, sorry. This is the abomination. So the abomination. Let's see. Okay, observation. Right. So just checking a couple of things. All right.
Check away.
In the meantime, check out the link to the Alien game by Free League, who have so generously sponsored the stream. If you want to take part in such android fuckery and shenanigans as we have, highly recommended.
That's what we should have called this series: Android
Chariot of Fuckery.
Yeah. It didn't roll any successes, so it's sort of this creature formerly known as Cham, like, and you skitter this screw almost like as if you were skipping stones, essentially. You sort of and makes enough noise, like almost pings off a couple of walls, perhaps far down the corridor, and it sort of instantly turns its head, and you can see what remains of your friend is still partially there. The features are there, although it's sort of elongated, almost being eaten from the inside. Like imagine sort of like the inside of a gelatin mold, essentially. That's what it sort of looks like in a way. But it no registering. It doesn't even see you. It just suddenly looks back and then rushes around the corner in human speed. This sort of like as it follows down the corridor to where the noise was. What do you do, Ava?
She pokes her head, like she's already had her head like out the hallway, so like fully comes out, presses back like basically against the wall with the pistol, and like shimmies. It's the Metal Gear Solid Snake, like I'm against the wall, right? Like I'm just gonna da-dun my way over towards the bathroom.
No, the door doesn't open or anything like that.
Is there? It's a bathroom. There's no porthole.
There's no porthole. No. Privacy. Yeah, there's no porthole. You'd have to like.
I think she like taps the door once or twice.
Yep.
John's.
Ava. Ava.
Are you all right?
I thought you left me. They all leave me in the. Thank God. I can't feel my legs.
She taps the door to slide open.
The door opens, and it opens onto a set of stalls. And weirdly, the one in front of you is open, with John sort of sat there normally, and not doing anything. But you see he's sort of holding himself, like, and as he looks up, I need you to make me, I think it's an empathy medical aid check.
I've got training in that. One success.
One success. As soon as he looks up at you,
Yeah.
you know, his eyes are bloodshot. You can see the way he's holding his arms. There is tears at his sleeve, and the telltale signs of a horrible sort of mesh of veins and stuff as his own hair is falling out. He's just looking at you going, it hurts so much. My head. Ava, please.
I know it hurts. She's like kneeled down. She's doing the like, she's coded to be a caretaker as well, right? So this is part of why people put androids on ships, to be like, they're a parental figure of some kind, right? So she's doing the like, oh honey, you scraped your knee kind of thing, right? She's like brushing his hair back a little bit, looking at everything. She already knows he's done for effectively, but is like putting on full bedside manner, like, I know it hurts. I know.
You can see he's his eyes red. There's snot dribbled down where he's been crying. I always liked you. I know people they had this thing against androids, but I always thought you were like, you always played my favorite song. And no matter what, I know everyone needs to make fun of me. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
I know you're scared. And she's like in the stall now, and I think she just starts to cradle him, right? She presses his head into her chest, and she's running her hands through his like blood and bile soaked like hair. Yeah. I know you're scared. We're all scared. I'm here. I'm here for you. I wanted to do what I could to help you.
I need somebody to roll me a d6, please. That's not Raina.
I can do that.
Please.
That's a 1.
Well, that could be anything, but it's probably not good. I know how design brain works.
Okay. You rolled a 1. Horrible roar. Suddenly, Ava, you feel within your arms John's tensing, like his back almost sort of cracks as it leans forward, and he screams a horrible, piercing yell. You see spit and phlegm fly out of his mouth, now caked in this sort of black ichor. Fortunately for you, your stress level does not go up by 1 because you are an android, but you do seem to be cradling a stage-3 abomination.
Yeah.
Let's roll initiative, shall we?
Do it.
My way out. Ava.
Oh dear, oh dear.
That's we're doing 1d10, right?
It's yes, 1d10 and lower. You want lower on this one?
Very wrong.
And remember, the lower is good for alien combat.
I've got a 5.
Ooh, right in the middle.
Perfectly average roll.
Ooh, okay, right. It's okay. Oh, I got a 4 and a 5.
Whoa.
All right. I'm gonna need another d6 roll from somebody, please. Who would like to do it? Go for it, Darcy.
All right. Come on, dice. Come on, dice. 5.
All right.
I think that's bad.
Ava, you sort of holding on, realizing what's happened, and before you are even able to react, you just feel John's arm tighten on yours as the scream happens, and he tries to pull your arm clean off.
Seen this one before, yeah.
You know how this one goes. So I'm gonna roll 6 base die. Ooh, I won't count that one because that rolled out of the box. If the attack hits, oh no, that's power. 6 base dice, damage 1. If the attack causes damage, it automatically triggers an injury, even if that victim is not broken. For this, probably will work, but we have to roll on a different injury table for androids. But we'll find out, because I roll like shit when I'm playing these things, so we'll find out. Okay, I didn't roll shit. Sorry, guys. So that is, it hits. So you take 2 base damage.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, let's look at your android stuff. Here we go.
5 health.
Critical injury. So it's only if you're broken.
Yeah.
Super. All right. So the critical injury. Sorry, going back and forth between different books.
Keep working until I suffer a system shutdown.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, it's Apple. So yes, so critical injury 54, triggering an immediate panic roll, which is fine. You don't need to panic, but 54 is severed arm. It is it fatal? Yes, but you're an android. You're fine. What's the effects? You can't use your arm anymore. That's what we've got here. Fitting.
Pick up your arm and just slap with it.
Healing time. It's permanent until you are repaired. Yes, and it would be just checking. Time limit. Okay, cool. So yeah, with a horrible wrench, Johns grabs the arm that you're holding, and you just it doesn't feel like anything to you because it's fine, but you just feel a sort of loss as the arm pulls off almost like putty in a way, and the whole of this toilet is now covered in your sort of white fluid blood, essentially just spattering the walls. It's now action 5. It does get another go, but you also rolled that, and I always think that characters get to go first, even you get joined initiative. So, Ava, what would you like to do?
So I imagine that as like she's soothing him, like she knows he's either gonna like die or transform, but she's comforting him anyway because like she doesn't want it to suck at the very end. So I imagine this is like she's cradling him with this arm, right? And like then the camera cuts to him like down here, and then the eyes snap open completely, like transformed as he does the scream, and rips off the arm that she was cradling him with. Like just grabs that and then right. Evil Dead musical splash zone, just phlegm.
Yes.
I think she's got the pistol in the other hand, and she just jams it underneath his chin and pulls the trigger.
Oh heck yeah! Let's roll it. That is I think that. Oh man, I don't have anything open. That's terrible. It's ranged weapons.
Yeah.
I think that is. Sorry, just double checking. Yes, that's agility, ranged combat, please.
I don't think I have time to aim or the ability to aim either. As funny as that would be.
That would be great.
Yeah. Oh, well, we should have saved the story point. No successes.
Oh, and you can't push the roll either.
I can't because I'm an android.
Yeah. The downside of not having any stress is that you don't know.
That's my slow action.
That's your slow action. Is there anything you'd like to do with your fast action?
When we're not grappling.
Let's see what else you've got.
Retreat?
Yeah, I was gonna say retreat. So that's an agility mobility roll, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Maybe using
bang. Okay, he dodges that. I'm sliding out of the
shutting the stall behind you, perhaps. Yeah, I think you don't. Yeah, the Johns used to know dodges out of the way, but it still creates a big ringing noise, which maybe disorientates him.
Right. And no successes on the other one.
Oh, All right. So you managed. I would say you do manage to get out, but you're not out into the corridor or anything like that compared to Davis from before. But the noise is there. All right, team. Back to the second turn of this abomination. John's the abomination, the wet abomination. Who would like to roll d6 to see what he does on his second turn?
Oh, it gets a free attack, doesn't it?
Sure, if you want it. I was gonna look. I feel like
you still move, but your enemy gets a free close combat attack against you.
Oh well then. Well,
and it doesn't count towards their actions in the round.
Well, that's very kind of you. I was gonna let you go, but no, you're right.
It's the final episode, right?
It is the final episode. Okay, so that's 6 dice. I think. Yeah, it makes. Yeah, we'll do another sort of. Okay. Yes, good. All right. You take Yes, those dice are there. You take 1 damage as it swipes at you, clawing at the place where your arm used to be, like trying to grab a hold of you, but it does not. But you take some more damage as that goes in. But yes, so yeah, back to its turn. Who wants to roll that d6? Go for it, Davis.
Davis.
4.
4. All right. Pounce. We've seen this happen before. The abomination leaps onto its victim like a big monkey. Roll for the attack using 8 base die, damage 1. If it hits, the victim is knocked to the ground, drops any handheld items, and must make an immediate panic roll. Wouldn't care in this case. The abomination then starts pounding the victim with powerful fists. This is it resolved as an immediate bonus attack with 12 base dice, damage 2. All right, let's do it. So first one is 8. Right. No successes on the first 4. 1 success on the final 4. So you take instantly another damage.
Yep.
As Johns leaps on you, like bursts out of the cubicle, and you instantly sort of collides with you as you go to the ground, making a lot of noise. And then 12 base die. What health were you on, Raina?
I have 4 out of 5 marked.
Also 1. Okay. All right.
1 floating.
All right. So the first 6. Last 6. 1 success. You take 2 damage.
I'm broken.
All right. Let's roll on the synthetic critical injuries table, if you would be so kind.
Yeah. All right. So
So androids are slightly different to humans. They don't get a big long critical injuries table. They only get a few bits and pieces.
Yep. And I have to roll a d6.
Yes, that is right. So yeah, roll for critical injuries on the table. You can still continue to operate, only suffering the effects of the critical injury. This makes androids very hard to stop.
Mm-hmm. So I have a 6.
Oh dear.
System shut down. The android is torn to shreds or crushed. Core systems are severely damaged, and a contact roll is required to communicate with the android. So like I'm ashed. Like
Yes.
Not even bishoped, like full on ashed. You're gonna have to plug some diodes into my brain.
Ava, what's the last thing? What's the last thing that happens to you before you go into shutdown?
Yeah. I should have thought of more music. So she is like, the arm gets ripped off and she doesn't care, right? She's like, all right, whatever. Like, I'll get that back later. Swings out, is like trying to bob and weave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It pounces on her. She flails with the gun, right? It gets knocked out of her hands.
Yeah.
Bam, like a couple strikes, I think.
Yeah.
And as she's like starting to collapse, she's like, spitting out the silicon fluid.
Yeah.
And maybe there's like a pause or something. I think it like hangs first, like it like smashes her, like, oh, I'm dead. Like you're dead. You're no longer moving. But she's an android, so she doesn't need to she doesn't take breaths.
No.
Let's do it this way. There is a quirk, right? If we're going by the Fassbender portrayal, that like this line of androids, because Ava's the female version of the Walter, were like really poetic. For some reason, it was like they would just have this like thing.
Yeah.
So I think her like eyes are like wide open, unblinking, and she looks up into like what's left of John's, and just like sputters out, "Cowards die many times before their deaths, but the valiant tastes of death but once." And then crunch, right?
Yeah, we look at the final sort of shot up as John's just beating down. I'll say we're out of initiative.
Yeah, I think so.
Freda!
So let's move then to the Sotillo crew members and Captain Miller, if that's all right. So you would be making your way
downtown.
I know, I'm always like, God damn it, don't do it, Fiona, don't do it. So you would have got, I think I misspoke last episode, so apologies for those people who are like, but the map doesn't have this. You would get to deck D, you would need to take one of the lifts down. There is no other stairwell, so that is my fault on that. So you would have come up onto the catwalk here. Well, you could either go onto the catwalk here, or you could go up one more level and go to the Medilab. So I would leave that to Captain Miller, because you're the ones that are leading the way. What would you be thinking with these two people, sort of with guns pointed at you, to take them to the Medilab?
Hey, Mother, this is where Wilson met their demise, right? Near the cargo bay.
Well, yes, Wilson met their demise along this corridor here. You are coming up here. I would say this lift here, because I didn't make that clear last episode, so apologies for that.
So I'd like to make a quick detour as I'm just kind of like shuffling carefully through, like looking around.
Devious. Very devious. Yep. So you're slowly making your way up this corridor. What's the plan? I guess, what is the plan? You wouldn't know it's spilt out compared to what Ava saw, because you've not been back this way. But
my intention is to, as I have Pina and Balaji behind me, is like, what if I showed you something that's worth more than whatever the Corp was offering? I think the Corp was willing to run away with.
Worth more than hundreds of thousands of credits.
There's no fucking price on it. They're willing to kill us for it.
It's priceless. Can't sell it then, can I?
Come on.
No.
I want to shuffle over.
What happened to having no time?
It's right there. And I just point around the entranceway to the cargo bay.
Lead the way.
Can I peek in?
Waves the gun. Go on.
Can I peek in before I...
it was in the storage room. So these storage things up here rather than the cargo bay. But you would go up the corridor and maybe stop before you appear. So yes, I'd say that.
That is my intention.
Yeah, of course. What do you do, Captain Miller?
I'd like to take a look before I enter.
Sure. You don't need to roll for this. You look around the corner. Maybe you just sort of a quick glance without like doing tank controls, as I could call it. Like, you can see things have changed in your periphery. Like, definitely the ground. There's a lot more of the black goo that seems to be seeping out. The blood is still there from where Wilson was taken away.
Is there a space from which I can circumvent the goo, or is it like it entirely spilled out into the corridor that I have to step into?
It's slowly making it. It's basically the mold is growing at a quite accelerated rate because the coolant has gone, essentially. So it's slowly making its way. So they could easily pass over it.
I press my back to the wall opposite the storage, and I nod at Balaji and Pin, and just like, it's clear. And I gesture as I shuffle very hesitantly towards storage.
All right, cool. Do you follow Balaji and Pin?
I think Pin is instantly like, "What's this shit?" Pointing at the goo.
Yeah.
With her Armat M41A pulse rifle.
Yep. So you point and what's this to Captain Miller?
It's bad shit. Don't step in it.
I mean, I could have guessed that. Any further context?
I'm not a scientist.
Okay.
Can I look around the room behind her and see what it could possibly be that she's...
Absolutely. You're going to do a wits observation check?
Sure, I'm great at those.
Yeah. What I'd say, because I'm desperately trying to look it up so I can actually get the role for you, is that you need to make for me a virulence check, both of you, because you have come into contact with it. You're in the same airspace. Captain Miller doesn't have to because she's had her vaccination.
Yeah, but
so
okay.
you need to make for me I think it's a wit stamina check, I think, or it's a strength challenge. Yes, that's the one. Yeah, they're always connected, the attributes and skills.
Okay, so no successes on that, so I'm gonna push it. And I got a success.
All right, a success. Cool. Pin.
So strength stamina.
Strength stamina, please.
All right. No successes.
Would you like to push the roll, Pin?
Yes.
You've been here before.
Yeah. One success.
All right. I'm desperately trying to find it. I can't check. Here we go. So I'm just trying to find the right level. Because here's the thing. Before, when it was just the mold, it was like, I think it was like a 9. And then the inoculation was a 6. Is this from the urns at this point? Like the urns have started to break, right? So it's much higher. Just trying to find where it is. So I want to say it's a 12. But I want to double check because I don't want to be mean because we're really good in the dying hours.
Now you don't want to be mean?
Yeah.
Now I don't want to be mean.
Punches.
Look at that. It does say 12. Oh, that's wonderful. All right, I'm going to roll them separately.
The brakes 5 feet from the station.
So just to check. So Captain Beaujolais, you got 1.
Both got 1, I think. Yeah.
Both got 1. Fantastic. All right, so I'm going to roll 12 separately for each person. Okay.
Good lord. The tension that is going to be listening to Fiona roll 24 dice.
I know. Okay, that's one person set. Now for the other person.
I used to like the sound of dice rolling.
It's never good when a GM has to roll. When any GM scoops up a handful of D6s, it's always bad. But when they declare 24 dice and then do that, fuck.
So, one of the rolls, one of the group of 12, I had 2 successes on. The other, no successes. What I'm going to ask is, let's go for Arnica, because you are kind of the big bad villain at this point. I want you to roll for me a d6. Odds is going to be the Captain Beaujolais, who is infected. Evens, it's Pin.
Boop. 4.
Evens is Pin.
Lord, I done killed Maddie twice.
I'm just so infectable.
Well, guess what,
You're
Maddie?
infectious.
You've been here before, Maddie, so I don't need to send you a new agenda. But yes, you have that ongoing, use it as you will, see what you know how that rolls. But yes,
Yeah.
you're okay. But yes, all right. Away from the mechanics for a second, back into the scene. So Captain, it just looks everywhere. And your observation check. Sorry, did you roll that in the end? Sorry, that's my bad. I got too excited with the I get to affect somebody.
Yeah, I get to kill more people in the dying hours of this game. What was I meant to roll? Observation.
Wits and observation. Apologies, I interrupted you because I was like, a mechanic.
Yes. Aha! Fuckery. Yes, 1 success.
One success. You can see whatever was contained in here. Again, there are urns and urns and urns. It's like filled up this entire storage unit. Quite a few of them are like almost opened like a metal flower, and the spreading of the mold has sort of gone all over. So it was quite intensive. Whatever was in here, whatever was keeping it there. So you recognize that aspect of it, but you've never seen anything like this. It's quite intense, and of course, because it's xenomorphic material, I need both the captain and Pin for their stress levels to go up by 1.
Cool. I just turn back to Miller. I think my gun has never left her, but I raise it a little.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
Relics.
No.
There's what?
What is this?
What Willie Tiny's willing to kill us for? Take it, pawn it.
Fuck no. I'm not
Those
touching that
relics,
shit.
those stone bits.
No. I'm not fucking with this.
Then we should go back to your ship and get the hell out of here.
What about the corpo?
You want to pass more of this shit? There's more of this where in that direction.
What is it? Is it? Should we not? Have you brought us here on purpose?
I told you.
Me?
The whole ship is infected.
It's a
No matter
betrayal.
what, no matter where you went. You want to be rich? Here's the rich thing.
You
I'm
said
in this
monsters.
boat too.
You said nothing about goop.
Want to be rich? Haul it.
No.
You want to live? We go back to your ship.
Yeah, we're going back to the ship pit.
All right, whatever you say, Captain.
Best of luck, Captain.
At this
Is
point,
she in the room?
No,
you're all in the close.
I remember I was like standing in the hallway.
I assume you've not moved into the storage unit because you've seen what's in there.
Yeah, all right. Best of luck. I'm gonna tell Pin. Let's go.
All
I'm
right.
gonna back down the hallway. I'm leaving her there.
Yeah, I thought so.
Back away down the hallway, keeping my gun on her the whole time.
As you start to walk down, well, several things happen at once.
Cool.
Firstly, you hear a horrible screeching, like roar, essentially, which, for context, is John's, but no one's panicked because you're not close to that. And you hear horrible, like, beating from the floor above. It's distant and faint, but then all of you would see. I think you're backing away at this point, Captain and Pin, are like, oh fuck this, all right. You see coming out of the air duct next to the intercom here is like pulling herself out is Sergeant Reed.
Oh,
She sort of looks up, sees the captain, and looks towards the storage thing where I can't remember. Apologies. You've all changed your characters so much. And so I don't know who knows what's in that final storage room, but it is the quin nitrocycline, the drums in that. And you see Reed sort of looks back and rushes towards the storage unit. Does anyone do anything?
I think Pin's going to try and shoot.
Ah, excellent. Let's do it. Let's do combat. Fuck it. Yeah.
my number 2.
Let's do it. All right. Everyone in that row, so that is Captain Miller, Captain Balaji, and Pin. Roll for me initiative.
D10.
That's a 5
roll,
for me.
Roll. That's when I roll high. 9.
7. Oh,
7. Mm-hmm.
keep it up here.
All right, hang on. There's too many people now. It's more than 2 people, so I have to write them down. No. All right. So that's that person. Okay. Sorry, writing down the NPCs very quickly. All right. Who got what? Captain Beloge.
9.
9. Oh.
9.
Maybe you get to go.
Yeah, maybe I'll just die right here and now without getting to act. Okay.
Wow. I feel
the salt.
No, not at all.
I think I might need to go to the burns unit. Ow.
You can go to medbay by yourself.
I could. Pin, sorry, what was your roll?
I got a 5.
5, cool. And then Captain Miller.
A 7.
7 as well. Okay. Unfortunately, none of these people get to go first. As well, I guess I should technically make an agility roll. Technically, because that's only fair. Because I've made you folks do it. I can't just surprise you with like, oh no.
Oh no, not at all.
Oh no. All right, so that is. No successes. You hear from behind Reed a horrible scraping, like as something is coming out of the vent.
God damn it.
I'll say that's its first go because it went first. It then goes again because it got a 4 after that. Can somebody roll for me? Let's say somebody who's not listening. Arnica, could you roll for me a d6 again, please?
Oh god.
A 1.
A 1. Oh, excellent. Coming out of the duct, Miller would recognize this person being Flynn, or what remains of Flynn. And as he emerges, a very tattered lab coat stringing off in certain bits, screaming and horrible, again, very similar raw-sounding things, is going to roar in fury. All humans in short range must make an immediate panic roll. So that is all 3 of you, unfortunately, and Reed currently. So make for me a d6 and add your stress level and tell me what you get.
Well,
Since I am infected, do I have stress at this point?
I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to say no, because you've just been infected, so no. Also, I did forget, I did say this off camera, so apologies, Captain Miller. With you tearing off your Wade tiny patch, technically that is you interacting with your signature item, so your stress level goes down by 1.
Oh, joy.
So. Oh, I'm helping you.
Very much, Game Mother. Please keep helping me because that's an 11 for me.
Okay, it's an 11. What about you, Captain Beloge?
8.
An 8. Okay. 8. We'll start with the 8. You start to tremble. You are like, what the fuck is that? You've never seen anything like that. You start to tremble. All skill rolls using agility suffer a -2 until your panic stops. I'll also say, now you've seen this creature, your stress level also goes up by 1.
Double cool.
11 is seek cover. So
gladly.
You will use your next action to move away from danger and find a safe spot if possible.
You're allowed looking at my notes.
I think that's good. That's what happened to Rye seconds before she died.
You're allowed to make a retreat roll if you have an enemy engaged range. You do not, Captain Miller, unless you count the Satillo mercenaries enemies just now. Your stress level is decreased by 1, but the stress levels of all friendly NPCs in short range increases by 1. After 1 round, you can act normally. So that's what's going to happen on your turn, Miller, just so you know.
Okay.
So that is that. It is now Pin. It is your go.
Do it, Pin.
Okay, so yeah, I think I'm gonna turn my attention away from the crawling, who I don't know is called Reed, and turn my attention to the horrific monster that is just and try and just shoot it, because that's how Pin interacts with things.
You're like, what the fuck? Bang, bang. Yeah, shoot now. Ask questions later. Okay, agility, ranged combat. Excuse me. Ooh.
Cool. Because I know that like when you're mega infected, you can't use ranged weapons, but I'm assuming that because
I'm gonna say you are slow. Yeah, you're in a very like it. I think if anything, the infection's gonna be speeding up because it's so concentrated here. That's how we're gonna justify the stress level not being there. So how's
cool?
that?
Yes, and maybe like a few rounds in, if we get that far, I'm just like, no more guns.
No more guns. Take that away. Your fingers no longer work. Absolutely.
You have a pulse rifle?
Yes.
You can fire that full auto.
So
firing full auto gives you +2 to your roll. It jacks your stress up by 1, which you wouldn't care about, I think.
Yeah.
But the bonus is, in addition to getting the +2 to your roll, is that you can distribute additional successes beyond the first to other targets within short range. So you could just like sweep the corridor.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I'd forgotten about it. So, weirdly, no one's been fighting or shooting.
No one's said anything more intense than like a laser cutter.
Yeah,
Even that didn't go well.
But also, yeah, you are shooting it in an external bull head as well. Bulkhead, sorry. Words.
Cool.
Anyway,
I got 2 successes, 1 on the extra bonus. So
excellent. All right. I guess my question to you, Pin, is: are you distributing them? If so, who to? Because there are different armor ratings depending on who you're shooting. I would need to roll for.
I think I'm concentrating it on the abomination.
That makes sense. All right. So
unload.
Yeah. All right. It's only got an armor rating of 3. So if I roll this and I get 6s, I basically deduct 1 success for every success of you, essentially. So, well, that's on the floor, so that doesn't count. I've decided. That also wasn't a success, so that's sad. No successes. So you just go into this horrible creature. How much damage is that?
That is 2. So I'm assuming that's 2d6.
No, just 2 straight.
Just 2 straight. Amazing.
Yeah, and it hits. Yeah, it's armor piercing as well. Oh yes, of course. And I didn't even need to roll then. That's brilliant. Okie dokie. Let me just write this down. Yeah, it hits into this creature. And it physically reacts. And Miller, you see this as well. The fact that before only fire really did any sort of damage to these creatures. The fact this auto is like going straight through this whole like horrible, like you can see now, this translucent sort of like skin that's almost sort of toughened up, like sort of resin, goes straight through and sort of pierces through it, so that you can damage these creatures. But again, it sort of moves, but it's still going towards Reed. So that's your slow action Pin. I think that's all you can do, and unless Raina, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's anything else with the fast actions, because I can't remember off the top of my head.
Technically, you could have used the fast action to aim. But,
I mean,
yeah,
I think it's fine.
It's like you can move, or I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, what would you like to move, Pin? You're not engaged with anyone, so you can easily move out.
You could do like a firing retreat.
Yeah, recovering fire.
Where is Captain Bellagio at this moment?
I'd say you are sort of at this intersection here. This is sort of T section here. So I think you were about to head down this corridor.
Mm-hmm. We were about to start backing away, so I'm like just in front of you.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I am going to start barreling down the corridor. If I can like push the captain along with me, then great. If not, then that's absolutely fine.
No worries. All right. So start doing that. Next up, it's Miller and Reed. Miller, what would you like to do?
Well, I guess I have to get out of there.
that is an option. Are you doing anything? Because you don't have any weapons, have you? You've only got your cutting torch still.
You did? I thought you didn't.
Oh, I took that gun.
Oh, that was not made clear to me. Just saying. So okay.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna
Book it. Is that
yeah.
cool?
Fuck.
No.
I just have to make a decision. Do I go with or try to go myself
Cook it and
somewhere?
book it.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Game Mother, there was another flame torch or other weaponry in one of the other cargo bays, right? We didn't clear out all the mechanical tools first time we were here.
Sure. So in the storage bays next to you, I don't think anyone went into the cargo bays like deliberately, or at least I if you did, then apologies. I'm just sort of limiting it to storage bays just now because that's easier. There definitely was tools. If you're going to go and grab one, that's going to be some sort of roll. That's what I'm saying. And so it's then to look around, and you might not be successful.
Well, actually, the previous case is I just have to get out of here. I have to find cover.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, of course, yeah. Sorry, my bad. Yeah,
Right.
maybe you're looking around, but your action is to find cover.
Then I want to. And I'm gonna risk. Fuck. I'm going for that stairwell.
You're going for the stairwell. Okay. You can see the stairwell; it's completely collapsed, but you can see there is like a straight line through to the next to deck C. You would need to jump, though. So if you're going to do that, that's going to be an agility mobility roll.
Agility, mobility.
Yeah. So Miller just breaks away from the captain and Pin and tries to go into the stairwell.
No success on the regular, and now the stress die, which is many. Two successes. No stress.
Oh, amazing. So yeah, you again almost like slow-mo, you sort of you probably hear like one of the people going, wait, and you jump and you perfectly sort of not perfectly land. It's it's quite a deep thing, and you like, but you land at the bottom of the stairwell. Looking up, you can hear the noise above you of the ongoing firefight. What do you do, Captain Miller? Where do you go?
That was my find cover is a fast action?
It is a use your next action. So it's just using up one of your actions, I'd say. Again, I'm just aware of time and stuff, so I'm just going to give you that thing that you can use to spend the next bit of your action running. Because you're not technically in cover. You've just moved
I
down.
My intention is to try to beat the other people back to the fresh ship.
That makes complete sense. All right, I'll say you're doing that, so we'll get you out of initiative at this point, if that's okay with you.
Run.
Yeah, you are just like booking it at this point. Next up, we have it's Reed. Now, Reed knows about the quininitroseclin, or citylin even. So she's going to go and grab it, and with her own cutting torch that she found in the med bay, she's going to try and light it on fire. In order to do that, she needs to make a roll. But she wasn't injured. She was not injured, so that was good. What's she on? All right. She's rolling. Oh, another die. I'm losing lots of dice to the floor, guys.
It's a sign. Let me live.
That was a success, but it doesn't count because it's not on the. All right, she's rolling 8 dice with her stress as well. 1 success. She grabs the quininitroseclin, tearing off the drum, and starts to light the and like pours it over herself and onto what remains of Flynn behind her. And she starts to light up. And she looks back at Balaji, who's not gone yet, and looks and just shouts, "Run!" Let's go to the captain.
I'm way ahead of her.
Way
ahead of her.
Audi 5000.
2 fast actions, and they're both to fucking book it.
Yeah. Makes sense. So we'll leave that combat there. And all you hear from behind you is sort of a noise, almost a quiet thing, as Reed turns to look at this horrible abomination of what remains of Flynn. She goes, you know, I fucking hate scientists. And the whole of cargo deck C lights up from that era as the quite natural setting sets alight. That whole corridor goes towards where the remains of the black goo, the sort of the urns and stuff, and starts setting them on fire. Smoke, horrible, like smoke fills the corridor. We'll leave it there for a second. Let's go to Lucas. If you're still with us, Lucas, I appreciate there's some technical difficulties. Can you hear us okay and everything?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you. Good timing, because you don't need to know what happens in there. All good timing.
Everything's fine. We're all fine. How are you?
There's literally fire behind us as you say that.
Yeah.
Literally fire. Lucas, you managed to make it up to deck A at this point. And as you go into the examination room, passing the showers and the cryotube, you notice that in the showers as well, maybe you peek, and as you go past, that one of the shower cells has one of those egg sacs as well. And you suspect that that might be the reason Clayton's deteriorated much quicker, is that when she went for a shower, the spores intermingled with the air and reinfected her. But you don't care about that. Why would you? One less person to worry about.
That one.
You make your way all the way up to Mother. Now, a couple of sessions ago, when your handiwork with Montero broke it up, self-destruct, it damaged Mother, the Mother mainframe stuff, so it is sparking and stuff, but you don't have a keycard access to get in. So what I would say to you, because it's not stopped you before, but this will be a hard wits com check for you. So what that means is that you would put your pool together, but you would take 2 dice out of that pool, if you see what I mean. So let us know what that is.
Let's see. All right. I got no successes, but you know what I have, Game Mother? Do you know what I don't have any of? I never spent none of my story points.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that to get in.
Beautiful. Yeah. You are desperate at this point. Your fingers are almost like a blur, knowing that these creatures are starting to overrun the ship. You have only a matter of time before either the Sotillo pirates or the captain or someone else will escape. So you have to make it clear at this point. And just suddenly, you do it and the door opens. Mother itself is sparking. The damage from the Montero blast has clearly damaged it a lot, essentially. Like it's just not functioning as well. So it's going to be very difficult to set that self-destruct sequence, but you can try for it. So again, this would be a wits com check, but with a -2.
Okay. I ain't got it.
No, you are struggling. You're trying to make it make sense, and there are always klaxons going off at this point as fire is starting to spread from the lower deck. You're just there going, no, you have to do this. So you are currently stuck in the Mother mainframe trying to set off this reactor. We're going to move back down to, let's go to Captain Miller. Where are you going?
Away.
Okay, far away. Let's see, I jumped down.
Yep, you jumped down. I've made a mistake. Don't worry, that's fine. You've jumped down. You've managed to make it to deck D, because I realized there's no stairwell to deck D. This is why bloody maps, am I right? But you've made it down to deck D. You've had enough chance to get away, essentially. So you're on deck D. You see the young mechanic. Yes, you can see it where the Sotilo is attached, but in front of it is standing Horton, who sort of like stiffens up and gets their gun ready, and it's like, whoa, 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 you know, and just like it hasn't shot you, but it's holding up the gun.
They're right behind me. They said to get the ship ready. They're running. We're running.
Ooh.
I'm telling the truth technically here.
You are.
You pull rank on that?
I was going to say, are you pulling rank on that?
Fuck it. Yes.
God damn it, Raina!
Thank you.
Everyone's a betrayer in this game.
I love it. That's what
Raina
I was
is the ultimate director here of drama.
All right, so you can use your command skill to order other non-officer PCs and NPCs around as long as they belong to the same organization as you. Currently, that organization is getting the fuck off this ship.
Debatable.
You need to roll command against their manipulation. So I will look for that. So roll for me your empathy command, please. I will look it up. Oh.
Did they dice first?
They've only got 3.
So far, 2 successes. This is stressful, I guess. I'm going to keep rolling to make a point here.
Yeah, make like Fred Durst and keep rolling.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, we made it 8 episodes without a Limp Bizkit reference.
Okay. That is a total
I'm going to class up the joint.
That is a total of 5 successes and no ones on the panic die.
Oh,
Get the fuck back to the ship and close the goddamn door.
I mean, I have to roll anyway, but I've only got 3 dice because I'm a small baby, really.
Can I give Horton a story point?
To get 1 success? No, I know he's got plot armor. Okay,
all right.
He rolls no successes, unsurprisingly. He goes, yeah, okay, and then there's instantly because somebody else has come through with authority, and he's like, shit, and he goes, Ben, we're leaving, and rushes with you, Miller, onto the Sotilo.
Start the plane.
Can the door close behind us?
No!
You've got lots of successes.
I got a lot of successes.
We're gonna hold on to that moment next. I do want to make sure that the captain and the Pin have the idea, but we'll hold on to those because I like that idea. But I also like the idea if we cut to inside the Sotilo, Bayan has just been like chilled. Like I think we described them before as like with feet up on the thing, probably playing like a, let's say, I don't know, a Game Boy.
Right.
It's just
it's
like
retro future. Yeah.
Tetris lives forever.
And they're like, almost beat my high score. Shit! And then it's like drops it. It's like, no, my high score. And then goes into action to make preparations to leave. Let's cut back to. I mean, I'm scared at this point. Cut back to our captain and Pin. You folks are running down, I say, sort of the catwalk towards the lift at this point.
Mm-hmm. And how's Pin doing with that sickness?
Well, I'm going to leave it up to them to role play it at this point.
Cool. Yeah, I'm just the cogs are turning. I'm just like, what would make sense? What would be good for the story? I don't know.
Just go with your gut. Go with your gut, Maddie. Don't worry. Don't worry
about
story.
Extendable mandible.
Yeah. Captain, I just want to kiss you.
Darcy gets more romance.
This is nervous energy. Laugh it out, everybody. We're all gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Going to. Some of us already have.
Yeah.
Twice. Well done. As we're running, fuck you. As we're running, I'm on comms to Pin.
Yes.
But
to
the captain.
Being. Yeah, that's fine.
I'm the captain. Mate, get this bird ready to fly. We are right on our way. We're getting the hell out of here.
Yeah. Oh, shit, my high score. Yeah, no worries. I'm on it. Yeah.
Fuck your high score. This place is cursed. We're getting the hell out. We're leaving it all behind.
Right. Okay. Shit. Fuck. you need to say these things. I've talked about this in my personal review about community, and you've already cut off the comms at this point. Like, cool. Yeah, you get into the lift.
Down we go.
Start to make your descent.
Fuck, Pin. Fuck. All right, maybe we should have listened to the first voice. We definitely should have listened to the second voice who said, "Don't come here." In future, if 2 people in one day say, "Don't go on this ship," remind me to pay attention, will you?
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry, Captain. I thought we put so much effort into this. We should get something out of it, but turns out that was bad call.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Listen,
I think I get a migraine out of all this. Jesus.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Let's get a nice warm cup of coffee when we get on the ship, eh?
Oh God, that would be perfect.
Bing. You make it to deck D. And yet you see, as you come out and look, you do see. Oh no, that's a wrong deck. You see, as you sort of come out, you can see the Satilla. You can see Horton, and you see Captain Miller going onto the ship. And you see Captain Miller look back, and Captain Miller at this point, I'm going to make you do a, I think, strength heavy machinery roll, but it's an easy one because of your successes. So you're going to add +2 dice to your dice pool.
Okay. And while I do this, I'm going to yell at Horton, was it?
Yes, the mechanic.
They're infected. They're going to kill us. Put on your EVA suit. Put your suit on. Put your suit on.
We don't have suits!
I'm going to roll stress die because that didn't go so good.
You do that, love.
There they are. 2 successes.
Okay, so the door is starting to shut at this point. I'm now going to cut from that scene.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to head back up to Lucas. Lucas, you are desperately trying to get the reactor to go off. You're like, at this point, and you can see on your screen the Satillo. There's obviously all these things you're reading it. It's like super fast paced. Seeing these flicker stuff. You can see the Satilla is trying to disembark from the Kronos.
Okay. So this is an absolute last ditch moment because the 966 viral override that was programmed into me was programmed on much newer machinery. The Kronos may be too old for me to override their mother.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can get the Order 966 virus that I used to blow up the Montero into this mother,
yes,
then I can just work her, like playing the piano.
Yeah.
All right. So it's the same roll as I rolled last time, correct?
I'm just checking because I think you might get a little bit more of a boost because you are basically sacrificing yourself at this point. Let me just double check. Yeah. So it's the same roll. So a comm check, but with an extra D6 to help you.
Cool. I got 2 successes. I'm gonna win this game. I know you can't win this game.
So Lucas, there is a moment, Lucas. You put your hands. Maybe you get out you open up a section of yourself. You pull out a wire or a cable, and you plug yourself into Mother. What's the last thing that Lucas does?
So as Lucas reaches in, this is absolutely a last ditch effort. The Mother mainframe is so fried that, even if there would be time for me to get out, there's no way that I'm going to recover from this. And that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I am deeply unconcerned.
Mm-hmm.
So while I am plugged in with one hand, I am working Mother's mainframe. I am quickly overloading everything.
Yes.
I am shutting off the air. I am shutting off the power. I am locking the doors.
Yeah.
The whole ship has gone into shutdown, but with the other hand, I hit my comms. I go, Miller, can you hear me, Miller?
She can.
And Miller, my voice, I almost sound like Davis. Like for a minute, I almost sound like Davis, but it's that you can hear the synth. Sometimes you can just hear it, and today you can hear it.
Motherfucking corpos.
No, Miller. To be fair, it's different, Corpo. I did try to save us. I would have saved you if I could. But you understand. You've been here. You've seen the mess. This can't go back to Earth. You get that, don't you, Miller?
Not all of us are sick. We're going. Let us go. I'm
Miller,
saying this out loud for Horton to hear.
Yep.
All non-sterilized and biological organisms must be considered infective. Protocol Necromancer has been engaged. I cannot override it. I have already locked down the ship. I have already set the self-destruct into motion.
Horton, move. Get the order to move now.
Yep.
You were my best friend, Miller. You really were.
I don't know who the hell you are.
I'm sorry.
My friend would not have done this. My fucking friends would not have done this.
The line goes dead. Lots of things are about to happen. So I'm going to go for it each in turn. So we cut to Captain Beloge. You see the umbilical try to escape, try to uncouple itself. I'm going to give you, if you want to run for it, because although there was success, it's struggling against what Lucas has done, even though if you're not aware of it. So I want you, Captain, to run to make an agility, a mobility agility move, which, because you're still trembling, will be a -2 modification.
Lucky for me,
can
agility is
Pin
my highest.
Yep, Pin.
Can Pin help by kind of shoving the captain forward and staying behind herself?
Of course she can. It's an extra d6.
He doesn't have time to stop you from doing that. He's already started moving.
Yeah.
I originally got one success on a panic die, and I rolled an additional d6 and got a 6. So before he even knows what's happened, you've propelled him past the point that he could do anything about it.
What's the last thing Pin does, Maddie?
I think Pin just calls out, "Finally repaid my debt."
And you just feel this push as Captain, you make it, and the umbilical shuts. Raina, I would like you to make for me a piloting check as Bayan. I'll tell you what they are. It is a agility. It's 5. Piloting is 3. They have no stress because they've not been in a stressful situation, so that's 8.
8 dice.
But it's a -2 because of what has happened with Lucas. They are. She's like busily trying to like, come on. So.
All right. So 6.
6 total. You just need 1 success.
2 successes.
So you're used to this. You're like, you are the getaway driver. All right, I'm putting you as Bayan just for now, if that's
right.
okay.
Punch it, Chewy.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, my Tetris. And you blast forward. Everyone that's on the ship falls to the ground. They are prone, so that apart from obviously Bayan, who's sort of already there, so that is Captain Miller, Captain Bellage, and Horton, as you sort of speed off into the night. Of course, it's the night. It's this dark void of space. Sorry, gotta find the ending bit. Excuse me. As you accelerate, the G-force slamming Bayan hard into the padded seat, the Kronos grows smaller and smaller in the distance. The safety harness cutting into your waist and shoulders. Those people in the back, like barely holding on to little bits of like junk and rope. Maybe Horton is somehow near you, Captain Bellage, and is holding on to you for dear life at this point. It cuts into your waist and shoulders, and you can't even breathe, Ben. And just before you black out, there is a flash of light where the Kronos used to be, followed by a tornado in space. Your eyes are seared shut by the shockwave of white, and you are rocked, all of you are rocked violently as the gamma rays around you assault the ship. You try to open your eyes, but all you can see is blues, purples, and oranges blasting through space. After a minute, you realize you are alive, and you remember to breathe, and it's going to be okay. And then you sort of until a fist comes on the viewport. Bayan's stress, if you're keeping count, goes up by 1, as a Clayton abomination appears on the viewport, because she was still on the hull.
Still out there, still alive.
Looking in at Bayan, and starts to smash the viewport. What does Bayan do?
This white knuckle, on the throttle and everything, starts to relax, and then instantly, the 3-second audience gets to breathe moment, and then the jump scare.
Exactly that.
I think it just jumps and screams.
Yeah, understandably so. At this point, Captain Bellage and Wilson. No, Wilson's not been here since episode 4. Sorry, Wilson and Miller. Well, oh my God, Bellage and Miller, the 2 captains. What do you do at this point? Horton is cowering in the back.
Horton's your name. Hold your breath. Fucking hold your breath.
My gun's out immediately on Miller.
Fucking told you.
What the fuck was any of that?
I look down, look at my surroundings for a second. I see Horton kind of cowering in the corner, and I pull up my sleeves. How's my skin looking, Game Mother?
Looks fine. You don't feel
moisturized.
Yes.
Flourishing.
Gorgeous. You are flourishing.
Explain yourself. Right the fuck now.
The inoculation held. Oh my God, the inoculation held.
What are you blithering about?
Do you have a headache? Do you have rashes? Now.
The only headache I've got right now is you. What the fuck is that noise?
Cap?
Monsters!
Cap is a fucking monster crawling around on the fucking hood of this thing.
I'm heading to the bridge, and I run over to the bridge.
Okay, Bayan, your stress level goes up again as a crack, an actual visible crack is starting to appear. Have we got anything to deal with that?
Fire! I start yelling out, fire! They don't like fire.
It's the void of space. How do you propose we get fire on our windshield?
You hold on to something. I'm going to try and fucking shake it.
Immediately just grab onto something because I know how being flies.
Yeah.
Not well, right.
Right, let's do another piloting check, please. This will be the last roll of the game.
I am yelling encouraging words. I'm saying the elongated
what do you encourage at this point, Captain Miller?
Don't
get rid of it. Get rid of it. Yeah, I'll fuck it. Get it. You get
Alright.
it.
So that's
Can I
9
give a
dice total, right?
story
I
point or
believe
something
so,
for
yeah.
this?
Oh wait, plus my stress, which is 2.
Mm-hmm.
With 11 dice.
Gee whiz.
With 11 dice, we get 1 success.
Oh, fuck. Push it. You gotta push it.
I'll push it. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking do it.
Why
yes.
not? So we're re-rolling.
All the non-successful dice.
Right. So that's 10 dice plus the extra 1. So I'm rolling
Yep,
another 11.
11. Yep, that's the way the game works.
So good right now.
It's a
No,
good
that's a
game.
good laugh.
4 ones.
Oh my
No
god! Oh my
successes.
god!
Let's roll a stress. Let's roll a panic just in
No,
case.
So it's a d6 plus
Your stress level, which is
now 3,
okay.
which is a 7, which I think is just under the cusp.
Oh, it is. Yeah, nervous twitch. Your stress level and everyone else's stress level goes up. Increased by 1, but you just go and as you sort of slam on the accelerator again, you also initiate the shields on the viewport, which and you just see this abomination's arm get torn, like almost like plasma in two, essentially, and loses its grip and falls into the deep sort of space. And you slow back down after maybe 30 seconds, a minute. It depends on how Bayan is feeling. But as your adrenaline rush subsides from all of you, Bayan starts flicking some buttons and getting your displacement drive ready for faster and light speeds. You all sort of gaze out at this point, and Captain Miller, I've sent something to your Discord.
Yep.
And that would be, if you're willing to do so, your signing off point, your log. If you would like to read that for me, please.
Final report of the commercial starship Montero. Miller reporting. I'm the only survivor. The rest of the crew are dead, as are the crew of the space exploration vehicle Cronus. Both ships and their cargoes destroyed. It's up to the colonial marshals to take it from here and clean up this mess. To make it clear, it's their mess. It's not my mess. It will never fucking be my mess. For the record, I'm dead too. This is Miller, signing off.
And that is the end of our alien game. Oh my god, I'm about to cry. Oh my god, I can't believe it. You guys have done it.
I live!
Get off my plane.
Annika, you were so close.
Oh my god. Wow, thank you so much. I appreciate we might run over time a little bit, but I wanted to see that ending. And my god, well done, my beautiful crew of the Montero. Let's go around quickly and do our outro, starting with our villain of the piece, our android. Annika, please take it away for us.
Hi, everyone. This has been so much fun. I'm Arnica. I've been playing Leah Davis, also the secret agent Lucas, the android. This has been, oh my gosh, this has been everything I hoped it would be when I first heard we were going to be running an alien game. You were fantastic, Fiona. Just know this. Oh, I'm so scared. You can find me at Arnica X Ross on Twitch, Twitter, and Hive. Catch me on Wednesdays as Morphs in the Swamp, our Animorphs Blades in the Dark game on Valorant's Twitch channel. And then I'm going to be off. That'll be the only thing I'm doing for a couple weeks. And then halfway through April, catch me for my month-long birthday extravaganza as we ran through Rotten Wonderlands. Launching April. What is the second Friday of April? Because not that one. It's the one after. Not the first. Not the 8th. The one after that.
15th.
7th. 15th.
A date in April.
There we go. I can't count. So that was me. It's been wonderful. I've had so much fun.
Fantastic, thank you. Let's go over to Raina, please.
Hi, I am Reina. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha and Lattes. I write and publish tabletop role-playing games at colorspraygames.itch.io. I'm also a voice actor for the queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama, The Penumbra Podcast. If you want to hear yourself represented in stories, that's at The Penumbra Pod on Twitter, thepenumbrapodcast.com. Quickly, I just want to plug not a project that I'm involved in, but some of my friends are involved in. My friends over at Hit Point Press have a new Kickstarter out there called Big Bads. It is a incredible 2-book compilation of boss monsters, regular baddies, cool adventure locations, all kinds of weird magical items for your fantasy adventure game. It's designed with 5e in mind, but you can obviously port it to whatever fantasy adventure game you have of choice. There's some really cool things out there, and some really cool people have worked on it. So please, if you have the chance, go check that out on Kickstarter and give it a back.
Thank you very much, Raina. Heading over to Darcy, please.
Hey friends, it's me, JC Darcy. I'm a GM, a game designer, performer, and producer. I'm also the director of operations here at Girls Run These Worlds, and I'm very proud to be so, because I get to greenlight stuff like this and bring tables like this together and get femmes telling stories that wouldn't get told elsewhere. And I've told Fiona to mention this as well, but I'm going to say it too. If you would like to be one of those femmes, if you would like to come and be on our channel and tell a story that no one else can tell because it's unique and personal to you, then we want to help you do that. So you can find our creator app on our Twitter page. As for me, I am not doing anything for a little while. I'm going to take a break. But you can find all my games, all my writing on my card, which is jcdarcy.card.co. And that's about it for me because I'm slowing down for a while because that was too much. I can't handle it.
Thank you so much. Handing it over to Maddie. I'm so sorry you were infected twice.
It's all good. It's all good. I have been Maddie Searle. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Maddie_abstract, and you can follow the link in my bio for all the various things that I do, which now includes an upcoming podcast called A Game of One's Own, which is focused solely on solo and 2-player RPGs. No podcast feed as of yet, but if you follow me on Twitter at A Game of One's Own, then you can find out as soon as the feed is live. And I also have a new tabletop game out on itch. If you search Maddie Searle on itch, you'll be able to find it. It's called I'm Not Lion. It is a 4-page one-shot about animal lawyers trying to conduct a trial in the haphazard legal system of London Zoo. I played a playtest of it with 2 real lawyers very recently, which was very fun, and included a pangolin who may or may not have had ties to the mob. So
amazing.
Do check it out.
Thank you so much, Maddie. And last but by no means least, take it away, Captain.
Oh, I never got to do the Riley rip off my clothing in space.
You could do that.
Fuck the uniform. And also, I am sweating. Oh my god. Hi everyone. I'm Ida. It has been an amazing ride. This is everything I wanted it to be and more. Thank you so much to everyone. Quick plugs. Tomorrow I'm going to be playing a double header of Brinkwood as we also conclude our campaign. That'll be at Balrog 1911's channel, Saturday and Sunday at 7 p.m. GMT, both those times. There's going to be a lot of blood, and there's going to be a lot of hopefully vampire blood and not my blood. On Tuesday, I'm going to be resuming the Eberron campaign at Horde of Tales, but we're dedicating it to WAVAF, which is Women Against Violence Against Women for the Streaming for Survivors event, raising money for the Rape Crisis Center. It's a really important cause. Anything you contribute helps, or sharing the word is also really important. On Thursday, we're having a new game startup at Horde of Tales, GM'd by someone you might be familiar with, by Angela, and we're going to be doing an Aether game. Nice. We are really excited. It's going to be every Thursday limited campaign starting at 7 p.m. GMT as well, with a very international, diverse cast and amazing ideas coming up. This Saturday, check out Big Bad Online, a lot of their offerings. I'm going to be modding for a couple of them, so I might see you in some early morning, late nights, depending where you're internationally. Check out the amazing contributors and platforms there. And last but not least, roll for good, y'all. Roll for good, roll for good, roll for good, roll for good is a UK EU community of people who want to do good, using the power and the joy and the excitement that TTRPGs bring us we are going to use that energy to support ILGA and their fight for LGBTQIA plus human rights at an international level on May 27th and 28th. We need GMs, we need producers, we need artists, we need mods, we need masters of ceremonies, we need people to hype us, we need people to help us do recorded content on intermission content. We need your help spreading the word. And we need your help to make this as successful as possible, to really help out ILGA and their amazing goals, and to show that the community is larger than just the albeit wonderful talents in North America, but is truly a bigger community available at different time zones, which is something ILGA this game does. And I really hope you're there with us, because we rolled for some really dramatic things here. But on May 27th and 28th, we're going to all be rolling for good in the world. So be there.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. I guess it's me now. I'm going to try to do this without bursting into happy tears because I'm so proud of everyone. But I am the host of What Am I Rolling, a twice-monthly RPG one-shot podcast, and also the host of the DM's Book Club, which is a weekly book club podcast about D&D. But forget all that. I think I always try and recommend stuff at the end of the thing. And if you like RPGs in general, especially indie RPGs, play them. Like, tell designers you love them and you enjoy them and you have these experiences. Signal boosts their work. Buy it for your friends and family in a community that's so often dominated by the big names, including Free League to an extent as well, but also Pathfinder, Paizo, D&D. It sometimes feels very overwhelming and quite hard to even get anything out there. So certainly as a beginning game designer or even as a veteran game designer, I think it's so important, and it's something I've really championed quite hard, is you should go and play lots of different games, because different game mechanics create different stories. We've seen this here tonight with Alien, with the stress mechanic, how easily a game can change just on that. I've mentioned other games over the last couple of weeks, such as like The Between by Jason Cordova, which is a mystery sort of game with sort of historical connections. Die, the role-playing game, which is sort of a goth Jumanji meta game where you go back and live through your childhood traumas, if you want to do that, in a fantasy setting. We've got like the Void 1680 AM, which is like a solo RPG game where you are doing a radio station and putting different music and listening to callers from a community of people who've contributed their voices to it. And of course, Yuzaba's Bed and Breakfast, which I think I recommended a couple of weeks ago, which is a slice of life RPG, which is very humble but also beautiful in connections. All of these games give us different experiences and stories, and honestly, that's all I want you to get away from this. Is like, I want different games to be out there and to be signal boosted, and just you trying that is the world. And yeah, so with that, if you're like, fuck, what happened? What's going on? Why is Fiona still talking? I want to run a game. I'm inspired by what's been happening here and seeing these wonderful, incredible cast of folks playing through this scenario. Well, of course, I'm going to voice Darcy on this. The Creator app is open. If you go to Girls Run These World Twitter, sorry, all the words coming out. The Twitter, the pinned tweet on there, apply. We need stories, and we want to tell your stories. It could be something as horrible as Alien, but it could be something as lovely as Lasers and Feelings or anything like that. We are open to all those kinds of stories, so please, please, please do check that out. We have on Sunday the continuing sort of saga of the Therosian Odyssey at 10 a.m. Eastern. We also have our Camp Flying Moose one shot on Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Very excited for that. I'm interested to see, because that's a system I just don't know, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then finally, again, Old Lady Fiona comes out. We're going to do a raid. We're going to go and raid into Happy Jacks again. They're playing City of Mists, which is an incredible game. I've been rereading it recently because they've got a Kickstarter out. I think it's just finishing for like an expansion of stuff, and that's all about what if you want to do like mystery games but also have these sort of fable, like if you've ever read the comics of that, like different paragons of that, and putting it into your games. Really recommend checking it out, and I'm sure they're doing an amazing one shot of that. That's it, guys. That's all I have to say. Well, sort of. I'm going to tease the possibility, because Darcy is sort of greenlit to. There will be a second season of Alien. We're going to be continuing on this story, but not with these characters, unfortunately, because I killed most of them, unfortunately. But we are going to be opening castings at some point, so keep a lookout for that if you're really interested in seeing what happens with the story. So there you go, a little teaser at the end. But thank you so much. Thank you, Girls Run These Worlds, for allowing me this, and have a good weekend.
Eat the rich!
Eat the rich.